There we go. We're live now.
Hello?
Yeah,
Are we live?
Yes, this is
Oh.
where you go. Holy shit, we're live. And then you say some introduction
Hello.
thing so we can pretend we're professional. Even though we've
But,
been doing this for
you
50
always-
freaking times.
You always confuse me every time. Hello,
How
everybody.
do I confuse you? We've been doing this
'Cause
50 times. You are smarter than I am.
That's debatable. Anywho,
No,
hello, everybody.
No, we're not. This is not debatable. Ask the chat.
Welcome
Chat,
to
who
2023.
is smarter, myself or Aiden? I'm saying Aiden.
I don't want to do this. Anywho, welcome to 2023.
Why?
and
The
us
chat,
being
the chat knows I'm
Look.
right and you're smarter.
Okay, I was late today. Spoon made us late the second time, as he always does.
How is it always my fault?
Because you always are like, you want to go make a cup of tea right beforehand, and you don't think to do it like 5 minutes earlier. Because if you were did it 5 minutes earlier, we'd never be late. But
I was literally sitting here waiting, and then you said press the button. Then I pressed the button, and then we're waiting for like 2 or 3 more minutes, and then you went, "Oh yeah, we're going live now."
No.
Yes,
Don't you reframe what just happened, mister.
This just happened like 2 minutes ago.
You're gaslighting me.
It's not gaslighting. What the fuck? Look at this woman. This woman is ridiculous.
Bruh. Okay, I will take it's my fault that we're an hour or half an hour late for sure, because Bill asked me to make cookies for his mom. Excuse me, biscuits for his mom, which should, I guess, be the way that we start this conversation, because we always end up talking about food anyway. So I do think our audience is predominantly
Yes.
Americans and not Brits. But what do you call something that is made with sugar, a lot of sugar and flour, and you put icing on it sometimes? What do you call that? Is it a cookie or a biscuit?
A cookie?
Cookie. A cookie.
Cookie sounds kind of weird.
You sound like a cookie right now, bitch.
It's very, very rude. Do you see what I have to put up with?
I'm
people?
sorry. No, it was
very
rude.
Tisk.
Bruh. We're off to a great start. But I am going to make a poll. Is it a cookie or a biscuit?
I mean, when you say something is sugary and it's covered in icing, that could be a cupcake.
I mean, it could, but it's flat usually and a little crunchy.
Let's go and give us a biscuit.
Is that a cookie or a biscuit?
Cookies and mook.
And mork.
Yeah, biscuit.
It's a cookie. A biscuit is fluffy and you put gravy on it or butter.
That's a scone.
Yes. But scone is different than a biscuit. I like scones, but they're different. No, I think it probably has more sugar, actually.
Really?
Probably. I don't know. I make biscuits all the time.
Biscuits are thin and crunchy. There you go.
Biscuits are big and fluffy.
We have one thing.
And made with buttermilk.
Sane person in the chat.
Well, we stream at a time that's like more operative, I think, probably for people in the UK. And you and I are both based on this side of the pond, so. But anywho, that was what we were talking about.
Cupcakes by a sugar cookie cupcake. I'm getting diabetes just reading that.
That's what I made with sugar cookies, because Bill's mom said that they used to make those a long time ago, but she didn't know what they were called or what the recipe was. And I just made them, I think, randomly, like last year, because I like sugar cookies. And Bill's mom was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for these things for forever," because they just, I don't know, don't make them very often over here. Sugar biscuits.
Sugar. No, you say sugar cookie. But that's
it's a sugar cookie.
Yeah, but that's an American name.
It's a specific, right? It's a specific thing.
Yeah.
I mean, in the States, like we also, we get cookie cutters and make them
chocolate chip cookies.
Right. A chocolate chip cookie, but there's no chocolate chips in it.
Yes.
It's not shortening bread. It's not shortening cookies. I don't use that for the ones that I make. Yeah, shortbread cookies.
Shortbread biscuit.
Yeah, shortbread is not shortbread cookies or biscuits, whatever, are not the same thing as sugar cookies, which are their own thing. My grandma always would make them. She had a
butter.
Yeah, pretty much. My grandma would always make so many cookies for Christmas. My grandma on my dad's side, she had all these different cookie cutters, and so like her favorite one was the Santa Clauses. So it was like Santa's head, and it was red icing with sprinkles for the hat, and then little raisins for his eyes, and his beard. And then his beard and the puff on his puffball and the puffy part of his hat, the fluffy part, she would put coconut shreddings on it because when she was growing up in the Depression, coconut was extremely rare. And so it was like the most extreme treat you could get ever was to have coconut. In the days before modern refrigeration and things like that. So she always loved those Santa Claus cookies. And my dad and I just made them for a couple of years after she passed away. But I always think about those ones, and she also made these like cookie, whatever, biscuit turnover things that had pineapple in them. Oh, those were so good. Those were the tits.
Pineapple in them.
Yeah, like sweet pineapple. So it was like kind of like a mini pie, essentially. Really good. So now that I've made you all hungry.
Hold on.
Oh, the article is huge on the screen. There you go.
Yes, I know. See, biscuit. That's literally the picture you have.
What?
The picture you have is literally biscuit. The one that you linked me, that's literally the picture. It says biscuit recipe.
Because it's a biscuit. The picture I sent you is a picture of a biscuit.
That's scone is what that is. Well, pork cups, it's an American recipe. Oh, there we go.
Oh, do you have my page up? I'm sharing my screen.
Oh,
Because I have the article.
Oh.
Yeah, those are biscuits. Those are biscuits. See them? See those delicious looking biscuits that are not scones?
I see a whole bunch of biscuits.
I see. Yeah, those are biscuits. That's what I sent you.
Okay.
And you said it was a scone.
No, that is what we would call a scone on the left.
Okay, the chocolatey things, yeah, whatever.
You would call a scone.
And the chocolatey things I get, look, no, I don't, look, I've lived here for 3 years, but there are some things I will, there are some things I will never give up. That is not, that is, the thing on the left is a biscuit. It's not a scone. A scone is a different thing. The thing on the right is a cookie. Stop it. This is incorrect. You're so wrong. It's so fundamentally
if someone
wrong.
Put this on my breakfast plate, I'd say it's scones as well.
I'm gonna fucking, because Bill had never had it until he went to the U.S. People in the UK are not familiar with biscuits and gravy, which is one of America's greatest inventions. You need to have biscuits and gravy, dude. It's delicious. Now
it's a scone, not a fuck off with your scone. How dare you disgrace? No, we say scone in Afrikaans. We don't say
it
scone.
Is
scone is like no, it just sounds common.
It's a scone.
That sounds common.
It's common. Wow.
Yeah,
what a pretentious get.
The same way that the English say garage, or we say garage.
Garage.
Yeah, it sounds weird. The garage just sounds.
I don't know.
Fuck off. It's garage.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
No, it's.
No, I mean
scone,
I agree with you.
Scone, you oof. Just no. Biscuits and gravy just sounds fat.
It is, but it's amazing. It's
just,
so good.
No, I'm just looking at that's.
Shall we move into Biden's blunders to bring in the new year, not with an argument, but with some agreement?
Exactly the fucking same thing to me.
All right.
I mean, that looks a little more flowery.
You have to try them next side by side. You'll see how they're not the same thing.
Scone.
Okay.
You see, look, that looks exactly the fucking same to me.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
It's not even close, baby. It's totally different. I swear to God, it's different. Let me find a recipe.
You're so gay.
We're 10 minutes.
What the fuck is this?
Bickering about scones versus biscuit. Recipe, biscuit.
That looks like a failed cookie that does.
Wait, hang on, let me see it.
That looks like you tried to bake, I don't know what.
You just don't understand.
I don't understand. How dare you insult my taste?
Because you've never had one.
Fuck off.
American style Southern biscuits.
I've never had that, but I've had scones.
Looking at 2 recipes.
Scones.
And okay, so
scones and gravy.
I wouldn't. No, okay. So the recipe for a scone is flour, sugar, baking powder and salt, butter, heavy whipping cream, egg and vanilla extract. You would never put that in a biscuit. Biscuit is flour, baking soda or baking powder, salt, butter, and buttermilk. There's no heavy whipping cream, and there's no sugar.
Topping.
mean, maybe you could put some. No, I don't think so.
Yes, you don't put whipping cream in the fucking recipe for bacon. That's
Isn't
the
that what they're
topping.
saying they want? Isn't that what? No, when it comes to soft scones that don't dry out, heavy whipping cream is the best option.
Where's
That's what
That's That's some weird shit.
this woman says. I don't know.
I don't know. How did we get onto this topic, by the way?
Because we were arguing about it beforehand. Let's talk about Biden's blunders. Let's stop talking about your biscuit blunder and talk about Biden's blunders.
I see what you did there. God, this woman will be the death of me.
Come on, I'm sharing my screen. Let's go.
Okay, I swear to God, let's see what he has. I don't even know which one I was at now.
I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, I know, but I'm wondering, like...
He's still stuck on the scones.
No, I'm wondering, like, why is the thing gone?
What?
Why, no, why is this...
What are you looking for?
Oh, hold on.
What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, there we go. Sorry, I was momentarily stupid.
Brain fart.
No, I was wondering, like, why is the window capture thing gone? And then I realized, like, I just changed the source
Bruh.
to the thing rather than your thing.
Hate me Biden, love me scones, simple as. Very true, Patricious. Well, we have an article here. Biden's top 10 blunders of 2022 prove that he's in decline. I don't think we needed proof, but
No.
you know, data are always appreciated.
It's more
Here are
just
the
we're
top.
laughing at a senile old fuck.
Well, I mean, it sometimes it makes me feel a little embarrassed to be laughing at a man who's clearly senile, but at the same time, he sure I wouldn't say he was not complicit in fortifying the safest and securest election of all time. So
Yes. Do you know?
So, let's go, Brandon.
That Russians were apparently responsible when Trump had nothing to do with government, but when Trump
Yeah.
is in government, somehow it becomes more fortified and safer. How the fuck does that make any sense? Can someone please explain that one to me?
Oh, it doesn't. That's why it's funny.
Oh, okay.
So-
and here, you see, this
I
is the
expect it to
thing.
make sense.
Yeah, but this is the thing that bugs me the most is if you just analyze news, you're like, oh my god, how the fuck does anyone believe this? This is so retardedly dumb.
People,
Can't think, don't think, and won't think.
for the most part, it's cognitive moduliness, I would say. A lot of it also is social identity theory, in that their identity is tied up in being a Democrat, in being on the right side of history and stuff, like all these parts of their identity that are wrapped up in
And
their politics.
Be a complete
And-
fucking idiot.
Well, they also, so again, part of cognitive dissonance, right, is that there's only three ways you can respond to dissonance. Dissonance causes activation in the same part of the brain as physical pain. So for that reason,
Right.
people want to avoid it. And there's three ways that you can deal with an experience of dissonance. You can ignore the information, which is what most people do most of the time. You can deny the information, but in the very act of denying it, it means you have to approach it, right? Psychologically, you have to approach
Russian
it.
media for the
That
most
means you
part.
have to think about it. Yeah, they relegate that part to the media. So the media has to go and come up with like, here's how it actually makes sense, and here's why actually we're still right all of the time. They have to deal with that stuff more than the average person. Average person just kind of tunes it out. That's avoidance tactic, right? The rejection tactic that requires approaching the topic, which in and of itself produces a level of dissonance. And even if you're totally inculcated, you're still going to potentially get some dissonance feelings when you have to. You at some point have to recognize that you're lying. You're telling yourself lies. At least unless you're totally gone. I think these people do recognize it on some level in the back of their brain. There's a niggling sensation that I'm lying and I know I'm lying. But I have to lie because it's for the good, because we're the good guys always, even though we're the ones lying. And well, we'll talk about some of the things that the Democrats have been doing tonight.
I've never met
Let's talk about
someone who
Biden
was
first,
okay
though.
with it.
Not actively usually. There are some people like Vosh, those types of people. They actively know what they're doing is evil,
he's
and
a
they
total
don't care.
psychopath.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There are
Yeah.
there are actual psychopaths who know exactly what they're doing, and a lot of them are in the media, and they know exactly what they are doing, and they don't care.
I think he just gets off on being listened to be honest.
Yeah, I honestly think he's scary. Like the way that he looks at the camera, he's got real Sampaku eyes, and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
For all the amount of money
Speaking
he has,
of-
he still can't clear that fucking ear infection he has.
Oh, I know, it's so weird, right? But speaking of feeling uncomfortable, here's Joe Biden. The 80-year-old isn't just a serial liar. He's a chronic gaffe machine who puts the country at risk pretty much every time he opens his mouth. The president's so bad at giving speeches that Gen Z made some of his most notable verbal stumbles into a TikTok trend.
Oh my! Can we just point that out? That every time he does open his mouth and he goes off the cuff, the aides piss themselves.
Oh, I know. You can watch them. Like, remember
buckets.
Last year when he was giving a press conference, and I think it was in the Oval Office, and then all of a sudden the aides were like, out, 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 and of course people were theorizing that he shit his pants because it was so there was like nothing happened. Just all of a sudden his aides were like, okay, you need to leave now. You need to get out. It was during some commemoration of the Irish potato famine or something like that. And he said something weird, and then they had to, because we're going to see that Biden is both an excellent Irish boy in that case, and also an excellent Catholic, as we'll get to some news about that just here in a few minutes. But let's go through this list. Top 10 gaffes of the grandpa in the White House that should make every American question whether he's just a figurehead. I don't think we have to question that one. Number 1, Biden forgets what year it is. Biden started off 2022 strong with a New Year's themed White House address in which he forgot what year it is. Hang on, are these linked if I take my speed reader off? Because they might be linked in here. Oop. This is the Federalist. Yeah, some of these have links, okay, so you can play them.
This was earlier today.
Yeah, this is from today. This is a new article.
No. That first one.
Oh, this is from this year.
Today. No, yeah.
Oh, this start. No, January
today.
2022. No, 2022.
Oh, 2022. Sorry.
Last year. It's a new year. You know, every year it goes up one.
Okay.
Last year was 2022. This year it's 2023. Sorry. Let's hear what he has to say, though. But it's okay. Common mistake. Biden also gets confused.
Yeah, but not by 2 years.
There's a lot of reason to be hopeful in 2020. But for God's sake, please take advantage of what's available.
Yeah, okay.
That describes that describes all politicians and taxpayers' money.
All right. Biden cusses out Fox journalists on Hot Mic. Hot Mic caught Biden. I remember when this happened.
Can I just point
Stupid
out,
son of a bitch. I remember that. That was January last year.
Can I just point out 2 years into this and you saying there's a lot of reason to be hopeful in 2020? Dude, how is there any reason to be hopeful when you were just elected? That's already a bad thing. And are you trying to say that you forgot the last 2 fucking years of your reign? I mean, everyone else would like to forget the last 2 fucking years as well.
Oh, I'm sure. Very likely he has forgotten. Grandma didn't take his medication that day.
Or ever.
Yeah, I of course remember when he called Peter Doocy a stupid son of a bitch. That's a year ago. It's been a year for that one too. Do you think inflation's a political liability in the midterms? Doocy asked as reporters were rushed to the exit. It's a great asset, more than inflation. Biden said, "What a stupid son of a bitch."
Well,
I mean, glass houses. Yeah, exactly. Why'd you push for it?
Yeah, we're gonna pass more spending, but inflation is a problem. Like,
yeah. Jordan gave her 5 says, in fairness, it doesn't feel like 2022 or 2023. It just feels like 2020 part 2 and part 3. Yeah, I've heard some people say that. Actually. It really does feel like we're still in 2020 part 3. Oh, it really does. Biden calls for regime change in Russia and meant it.
Oh, God, I remember this.
Hardly a slip of the tongue.
This man cannot remain in power. Yeah.
One of Biden's most problematic statements came in March when he publicly called for regime change in Russia. Now, of course, remember, Biden has never had any kind of foul business or things he's been doing in Ukraine at all.
What do you mean?
No, him and the Democrats... he and the Democrats have never been fooling around in Ukraine.
Well, no, he doesn't, but I mean, his son...
Ooh, you're not allowed to say any of that. Oh, shut up. Ooh, bad words, bad thoughts. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. Biden declared about Vladimir Putin during a speech in Warsaw.
Who totally did corrupt shit with his father. Fuck off.
Again, what irony.
We all know this.
God's
Everybody
sake,
knows this.
This man cannot remain in power.
Talking about yourself there, Joe? I agree.
Oh my God,
again, no fan of Putin, but come on. Regime change in Russia is the unofficial policy of our ruling class. It has been for decades. Decades and decades and decades.
It has been since 1950.
Yes, but the corporate media, unwilling to admit it, called Biden's outburst a gaffe. And the White House similarly couldn't decide between standing by Biden's comments, because, of course, they hate Russia. Well, Russia's their baddie. Russia's their
Russia is the bad man in the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Even though if you see some of the Twitter files, Russia wasn't doing
We're gonna be looking at
fucking shit.
We're gonna be looking at that. I didn't tweet it out because I didn't want to get into it. I'm real over debating the Ukraine stuff with people, and I'll tell you what was my breaking point. It was that debate that Adam and Sitch had with who all was there with Dave Smith and Jimmy Dore and who was it? Kurt Metzger?
Yeah, Kurt Metzger.
And it was just like it totally illustrated to me that there is no point in talking about this anymore. I wish there was. I think there are some things where obviously people can definitely move their opinions, but right now with the way things work, which is why I'm glad I made my video when I made it on Ukraine, is people have decided what their opinion is, and there's nothing you can do to change their mind on Ukraine. It's too high, and it's too high emotions right now. There's just nothing. That was one of the biggest clusterfucks of a discussion I've ever seen, and I like everybody involved. I don't like the Jimmy Dore spit on Alex Jones. Okay, I'm never going to totally get over that. But Jimmy Dore has a lot of actually quite reasonable takes. Not just on Ukraine.
He's very good at diagnosing the problem. It's just that his solutions are shit.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's the thing. There's a lot of leftists actually. They can say like, "Hey, look, here is the problem."
Well, they're not all stupid. It would be incredibly diminutive to say that everybody who has left wing ideas is stupid. No, a lot of them are very intelligent, and it's just like there's a lot of really stupid people on the right. But you know, sometimes I think the problem with most people. I think a lot of people who are intelligent can identify the problem, but where almost all of us struggle, myself included, and yourself, I think, is that we all are going to disagree or have problems diagnosing. We can diagnose the problem, finding the solution.
Of course, I disagree with people.
You and I have different ideas.
I disagree with people that are clearly wrong. I mean, yes, that's kind of how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even find that funny? Like, I'm trying to be snotty and arrogant. It went over your head. Oh, never mind. No,
I was taking a drink of my delicious drink. I have the most delicious drink tonight. I gave some of it to Bill earlier. He hated it.
Which means in about an hour, Aiden is going to be kind of fuzzy.
No, it's actually very, very low alcohol. What this is, so
consume more of it.
I will, because it's so good. I had a whole bunch of liquor left over because I did a bunch of cooking with liquor over the holidays. So here's what I have downstairs right now. I have homemade cinnamon whiskey. I have a little tiny bit of the micro batch distilled West Virginia cinnamon whiskey that I brought back over from the States. Some of the moonshine, West Virginia moonshine, some of the West Virginia whiskey. Yeah.
How high is it?
I think it's 60%.
God damn.
Yeah, it's serious. It burns like a bitch. And then I've got a Sakura cherry blossom and spiced plum gin that I got for Christmas. It has gold specks in it, which I don't like. Because anytime I try to take a drink out of my glass, it's like I don't want to drink the gold specks, even though I know you can. It just has I have an aversion against drinking the gold specks. And then I have my homemade eggnog. My homemade eggnog, because it's not a thing over here.
Really
off the tits. No, I was cooking with the liquor, but that's why I have so much left, because I only had to use a little bit of it for each thing.
Which in Aiden's speak means she was cooking and drinking at the same time.
No, it goes in the food. I made a crumble with I used the cinnamon whiskey that I made. I used what was it? What's it called? Something grouse. Famous grouse. And I put some cinnamon sticks in it and just let it sit for a couple days. That's all it takes to make cinnamon whiskey.
You know the way that normal people watch cooking stuff? This is to the chat, by the way. And then you see a whole bunch of stuff and you go, ooh, that looks interesting. I want to make that. And then you never do. Aiden is the person that says, ooh, I want to make that, and then actually does.
Yeah, I do. I love cooking.
That's basically
cooking is my de-stress. Cooking is how I totally disconnect from anything. Not that I'm stressed, but it's how I just disconnect from things that suck in the world. just enjoy. But I've also got something I don't really ever drink, which is amaretto. I've got brandy, amaretto, and I've got Cointreau, as well as all that other shit I just mentioned. And then I usually also
like engine degreaser.
It's orange liqueur. You've never had Cointreau?
No.
Or triple sec?
Instantly sounds.
Have you had triple sec?
Sounds like no.
You've never had triple sec?
No.
If you've had a margarita, then you've had triple sec. Margarita requires triple sec.
Yes,
or Cointreau.
But hello, whiskey drinker guy.
Right. Just add.
testicles.
Okay. But here's what I'm drinking. This is an amaretto sour. So it is amaretto, which is of course almond liqueur,
Yes.
with the triple sec, the Cointreau, which is orange liqueur. So it's
I was
almond and
drunk,
orange
obviously.
liqueurs.
I'm not a god.
Almond and orange liqueur, a little bit of Sprite, fresh made sweet and sour syrup. So lemon and lime juice with some sugar.
Sweet and
like-
sour syrup. I don't know what that is.
or sour mix. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
then
right, sorry.
yeah,
My
and then
apologies.
orange juice, and it's the tits. I think this is my second drink with it. I think I'm gonna make another one, and when I do, I think I'm gonna like maybe mull up some raspberries and put that in it.
Put up some raspberries, yes. For the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to pretend to be drunk for the next 20 minutes.
I know I probably ruined it with the Sprite. The Sprite's because I really like
Oh,
carbonated
shit.
things, so I wanted to add a little bit
Fuck, I think
of
it's not
Sprite to
standing
it.
up straight. There we go.
Anywho, repeat the line. In July, during a speech about his new abortion-focused executive
Oh,
order,
play this,
Biden
this is
struggled.
funny.
I know, it's so good. Biden struggled to properly vocalize the script on his teleprompter, meaning he just couldn't understand his teleprompter.
Power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political or maybe precise, not and or political power. That's another way of saying that you, the women of America, can determine the outcome of this issue. I don't think the court, or for that matter, the Republicans.
Can I
Repeat
just
the
say
line.
for the record, the two people behind him over there, obviously the wicked witch to the west of it.
They look dead inside.
Yeah, can I
Repeat
just
the
say,
line.
how you do not laugh at that is the most impressive thing you've ever done in your entire fucking life as far as politics goes.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Yeah, how do you not just like laugh at that? Like, I'm like,
I know. Repeat the line. Biden falsely claims he has cancer.
and then
I don't
he
know.
repeats
Maybe
it again slower
I know.
and
Maybe he
fucks it up.
did. It's. I don't know.
If he had cancer, it was cancer of the brain.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Okay. So then, of course, the White House has to release
Hold on a second.
a statement.
How the fucking hell do you get oil slick on a car after the first frost? I want to know. And secondly, how does it getting under the windshield give you cancer?
Well, there is a very basic physics problem, I think, here that maybe Biden's not aware of. I'm guessing in his senile, addled brain, maybe he thinks that because snow is water, and then it goes up, it evaporates into the atmosphere, that it's carrying up oil slicks. But here's the thing, Biden. Have you ever heard the phrase "like oil and water"?
That's what you got from that?
Is that how he thinks that people are ending up with oil on their cars during snowstorms?
I
It
went
has to be it.
I went somewhere else entirely.
I mean, how else are they, or not snowstorms or rainstorms that somehow oil is evaporating into the atmosphere
Well, he said the
and coming
first-
down with the rain?
He said the first frost.
That's what he said. It doesn't
Yes.
make.
So
Yeah, that's
I'm
why I thought he meant
assuming
snow.
I'm assuming when it's getting cold.
Well, it's not,
somehow
either way,
you-
it does.
somehow
Oil and
you
water literally
drive,
cannot. They can't
and then it gets
attach.
in your windshield.
Chemically, oil and water can't attach. So I don't know how you're getting oil on your windshield.
Unless
I
your
don't-
wife is a really shit.
I mean, maybe I guess if you're driving through puddles, because they can get a lot of oil in them. Obviously, I guess that would be it.
Someone asked, "Is that Bob Barker?"
It's hard
on
to
the thumbnail?
No,
That's
that's
Fauci.
Anthony Fauci. Oh, hey Arden, by the way, how's it going? So in response,
get vaccinated. Fucking
POTUS clearly misspoke from the White House physician. President O'Biden, I just said that. God damn it. Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? President Biden remains a healthy, vigorous 78-year-old male.
By the way, by the way, I know they want to say Biden misspoke, but when you say clearly misspoke, It just sounds like he was deliberately saying something false.
Yeah.
I know, but you know what? You see what I'm trying to say? Like, that just sounds
Right.
weird the way that you phrase that.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, it's like,
Let's just say it.
clearly
No,
he
trust
fucks
us,
up.
guys.
Like, yes, he
Come
does
on,
that
guys.
all the time.
He doesn't have cancer. Don't get too excited, all right? That's what it sounds like.
No, but he definitely has dementia.
He definitely has dementia, but don't worry. He
And
definitely does not have cancer.
He definitely can. You know what the main thing is when people say, "Oh, he can't even read a teleprompter." Motherfucker,
No.
that's the worst thing you can say about him is that he can't read. He doesn't even know what the teleprompter fucking says.
No, he doesn't know what it says.
He doesn't know
right?
what the fuck is going on half the time because he's demented. He wakes up with
Yeah.
the schedule that his wife writes for him, like put on clothes, eat brand
Well,
shit, and then sleep for another.
And by
30
the way,
minutes.
I was to say he wakes up at like noon, does things for about 3 hours, and then has a nap for 3 hours or 2 hours or
very
so.
reminiscent to Hitler's schedule.
Well, I mean, that's the schedule of someone who's very aged and suffering from serious decline.
No,
Which is apparently what his schedule is like.
No.
Is that really Hitler's schedule?
No. It's because someone works really hard for 3 hours and then they need to sleep for the rest of the day. That's how.
Oh,
that
I'm
works.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he has a hot. Aiden, do you know how difficult it is to have dementia and concentrate on reading 5 words in a single sentence without fucking up? Mike, the
corn
fortitude,
pop.
the fortitude of this man to still get out of bed and do that every single fucking day while getting shit canned from the press is amazing. How he keeps going on. It's just God bless him.
Where's my Jello cup?
Sounds like
Someone get this
Grandpa
man
Abe.
his Jello cup. Anyway, Biden says
That-
American
that's
troops
filled
are
with
selfish.
Hunter sweets.
No, thank you on that one. He's
No, I mean-
been
I mean his
digging
drugs,
around on the floor.
not his gene juice.
Oh no, well I'm gonna say his drugs. He's been the ones he's been snorting around on the floor,
No.
trying to
Parmesan.
find some Parmesan cheese.
Has anyone ever used that phrase for jizz? Am I the first one who said that phrase?
Which
Gene juice.
his Parmesan cheese. Oh no, that's probably fine. I thought you were saying Parmesan cheese. Like, okay, if your
Yeah.
jizz in any way resembles Parmesan cheese,
You're
I have a
probably
lot of
old.
questions, and probably Biden's does. It's just
Yeah.
probably like.
They just duck. That's a fucking weird image I have in my head right now.
Just pure stress for 5 says, "Oh, Biden, my Biden." True. Whoopsie. You're all welcome.
That's some fucked up DNA.
You were all welcome for the imagery, by the way, and the sound design. Anyway, Biden says American troops are selfish. During a trip to the Middle East in July, Biden mixed up the words selfish and selfless. To be fair, okay, that one is at least understandable for like a normal person. And I can see that happening. I've probably fucked that up before.
We'll always honor the bravery and selflessness of the
And then he did immediately correct himself. So this one I don't think is so bad, actually. Like, it sounds terrible, but comparatively, this one I don't think is that bad. Biden
Yeah.
calls the Holocaust honorable. I do remember this one. We played this one on the show.
Well, this would explain why Richard Spencer liked him.
True. Keep alive the truth and honor of the Holocaust. I don't know what he meant there, by the way. I don't know what he meant by that one.
Keep it alive and honor the Holocaust. Like
Oh, he said, horror.
Somewhere,
That one's,
probably in
let's see,
Argentina, the remains of Adolf Hitler is
Uncle
has an
Addie's down
erection.
there.
Uncle Addy. I've never heard someone call him that.
Oh my God.
How have I never heard that before, Uncle Addy? That's great.
Okay, this one
Way to make
again
him
makes
sound
sense.
humorous.
Selfish and selfless. I get that. Those are two really, really similar words.
But
They're
sound
pronounced almost
are
identically.
Very different.
They mean very
Polar
different things,
opposites, in fact.
but they're very similar. Whereas honor versus horror,
Honor the horror of the Holocaust.
no,
That's
there's a
tricky.
big difference between these two words, though. I'm just saying in terms of linguistically, there's a big difference.
Yeah, but still saying, keep alive the horror of the Holocaust.
God, it's just so embarrassing. This is the leader of the free world, supposedly. Oh God, this one. Where's Jackie?
Oh,
Perhaps
God,
the
this was
worst of
fucking
Biden's
bad.
2022 blunders is when he tried to call upon Representative Jackie Walorski weeks after she died in a car accident in her home state of Indiana. Ugh.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
That one was probably the worst.
Rough.
But the one that was least publicized, because you sort of have to know about politics to get why that's bad.
Oh, right. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Well, let's see what she had to say. She just said, Jackie Walorski was on his mind. That's why he got confused. You sure?
I just wanted to return to this question of the Congresswoman, and I think we all totally get why she's top of mind. You've made that case pretty effectively.
No, you
the
haven't.
confusing part is why, if she and the family is top of mind, does the president think that she's living and in the room?
I don't find that confusing. I mean, I think many people can speak to sometimes when you have someone top of mind, they're top of mind, exactly that. And it is also
What a goddamn cope, right? No, if someone's on your top of mind because they died, I'm pretty sure you understand the emotional, memories are all just synaptic firing in our brains, right? And the way that memories are stored, it very colloquially in the left-hand side of the brain, right, is that your brain's going to go try to retrieve that memory when it's trying to bring something into the more active forefront of processing.
All right.
Connections, cognitive connections between processes increase the speed. So something that's more recent or more that's happened more recently is usually more quickly accessible. Also, something that is accessed very frequently, aka something that is emotionally attached, meaning it has more connections to other memories, to emotions, is also more easily accessible via cognitive networking, right? So if it was top of mind because he cared about her and because it was something he was thinking about, he would know. Also, what would come to mind immediately would be the thoughts of, oh God, she's dead, that's sad, or something like that. That's not what's happening there. This is a misfiring of memory. He has no idea what's going on. So no. Look, I'm no cognitive psychologist, okay? But even I can tell you, that's not how that shit works. I mean, that's how it works if you're suffering from severe senility or even mild. I would say in this case, it's probably mild senility. I don't. I think Biden's is approaching more than my own, but you don't want anyone who's got brain damage essentially to be the leader of the free world, do you?
also, if you
By the
put
way,
it into the
this
context.
woman, have you noticed that whenever someone's talking to her, she never looks at them in the face. They're just constantly staring at the fucking book.
Oftentimes, yeah.
That really.
She's looking
pisses
at
me off.
whoever she's talking to her right now in this clip.
Yeah, but
Facts.
it's only once
It's
they're
not like
done
it-
speaking.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, I'm fucking talking
yeah.
to you. Look at me, you twat.
It's probably, well, I'll tell you why. Because she's got her answer already written. So she's reading it. She's listening to, like, okay, what do I have to respond to? And she's looking for, oh, here's how you respond to this question. And that's why she's looking through that stuff to try and find an answer. That's why she's looking down. And that's true. If you notice, Jean-Pierre, whenever she's at these press conferences, you'll notice that whenever someone is asking her a question, she's looking down at her book. And I would surmise that's probably why.
It happened outside of context, right? It happened
I
at an
remember
event
Kaylee doing that.
where we were.
Okay, Kaylee was
we
good
were
at her
calling
job.
out the champions.
Oh yeah, good point.
Congressional.
I mean,
Kaylee,
Oh, wait.
Kaylee makes this woman look a fucking.
I know.
retard.
Comparatively, Kelly McEnany was fantastic. And then what was the other one? What was Peppermint Patty's name?
Jen Psaki.
Jen Psaki. Even Jen Psaki was better than
That's true, but Jen
KGP.
Psaki was also fucking dripping with arrogance.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Oh my, like just the
Yeah,
woman's
I would
face, like,
say
I want to throttle you just.
she was
because of the way you talk.
She was contemptible. Like
Oh,
she
God.
she was
Arrogant.
very aggressive and arrogant. At least KJP isn't like a really aggressive the way that Psaki was.
No.
Champions in
Psaki
particular
was
of
just
this
smug. Oh
issue,
my
this
Mhm.
important
fucking
issue
God, smug shit.
when it comes to food insecurity, something that this administration has led.
And
on-
then she just goes off on random shit. Who cares? Immediately
You haven't led
pivots.
on shit.
Immediately
What the
pivots.
fuck are you talking about? You
I don't
ridiculous
know.
loon.
A poll conducted shortly after the Jackie incident found that the majority of Americans, including Democrats, were at least somewhat concerned about Biden's mental state.
Somewhat concerned.
Just a little bit.
Was that the woman?
Issues Insights TIPP survey. 64% of voters concerned over Biden's mental health. So this is a... Yeah, even is this
Wow,
It
the
hadn't really
majority
gotten
is
worse.
very-
yeah, the majority. Well, that's a plurality.
I was
yeah.
concerned about his mental health before he even ran.
Yeah.
'Cause he's fucking retarded.
I mean, well, if you're talking about somewhat or very concerned, that's definitely majority.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case you're talking about, by October of last year, it was, 64%. So goddamn, at least somewhat concerned. So a mental focused word salad. Biden isn't particularly fond of people questioning his cognitive abilities. That very frequent thing that you find in people who are suffering from cognitive decline. They get very sensitive about it, understandably. So here's being questioned on his mental focus.
You are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
Nope.
Which leads to my next question.
What?
You are more aware of this than anyone. Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me.
So freaking creepy, by the way.
That is the worst.
I mean-
answer, by the
Watch
way.
you. That's what we've been doing, Joe.
That's how they got to the conclusion you're unfit, you fucking old
Yes,
moron.
that's how we came to this position, my dude.
Honest to God,
That
that's
is
all I
like-
think.
Like
Watch.
that single
It's kind of an
answer,
amazing answer.
that
It's kind of an
answer-
amazing answer
like,
in that way.
Yeah, but that answer is proof that you're an idiot.
Hmm.
Like that's why that fucking answer, like, yeah, it's right there. That's why we think you're not fit, because you say shit that's really fucking obviously.
Watch me throw it back. Watch me.
I'm struggling to
Pull
think
back.
because I have so much
Pull back.
stupid in my head from just that sentence. I'm struggling to just formulate why. Honestly, just look at you. What the fuck?
I thought he was gonna break out into a Missy Elliott song. I don't know.
me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity, then you know,
Well,
that's
thank you.
one thing.
Uh-huh.
It's another thing of just watch and keep my schedule, do what I'm doing. I think that I don't, when I sit down with our NATO allies and keep them together, I don't have them saying, wait a minute, well, how old are you? What did they say? I mean,
What?
it's a matter of that old expression, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. I mean,
What?
Doesn't he always saying the proof is in the pudding?
The proof is in the pudding. What he's
Yeah.
at it again. You're not helping yourself, Joe.
He just wants pudding.
That's it. It's time for his pudding. He's upset. He's like the proof of the pudding's in the eating. And where's my pudding?
I respect the fact that people would say, you're old, but I think it relates to how much energy you have and whether or not the job you're doing is one consistent with what any person of any age would be able to do.
And
How would you
suck.
say your mental focus?
With our
Oh,
NATO
whoops, sorry.
allies, one
Pause it. Sorry, what'd you say?
No, it's as far as that last bit goes. You suck at your job. That's why.
Yeah,
everyone hates you.
I've
Pudding
got a
is
poll
nice.
on I've got a poll on what his I've got an article on what his polling's like right now, and let's just say not looking great for the old Biden stir.
Is it on? Is it on the
consistent
14?
with.
Oh, it's like 36, I think. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Do you want me to pull it up real quick?
Sure. Why not?
I've got it here, I believe.
RCP?
It's a new poll where they posted,
There's
or at least I know that I just saw it. If I didn't
RCP
put
does
it in
good
here,
Let me see what the RCP has. RCP is good aggregates.
there was a new poll. If I didn't put it in here, I'll go find it real quick.
Oh, look at my fucking Twitter. I'm pissing off a feminist who says that men need to learn to behave better. I told her to stop being so ugly. That was probably kind of mean.
There
failed to give a
was a new one. I just saw it. Or maybe I.
Biden's job approval. Approval is
I-
43.
Is that what you? I thought I saw it at 36, but I might have. I don't have it in my. I thought I put it in my show notes.
I don't know
but
how
I did not.
There's a massive approval. Like
God, I
from
know for sure I saw
December
this.
to now. I don't know fucking how.
How the hell did I lose this thingy?
Was it a recent poll?
Yeah, I think I saw it on the Gateway Pundit or on some site, some aggregation site, like just yesterday. But I forgot to put it in my show notes, so if it existed, well, I don't have it now, so don't take my word for it because I can't find
Disapproval
it.
is still in the 50s.
It was. Let me look here. Sorry for this. But anywho. Oh, let me play this while I'm looking for it.
What any person
There
of
it is.
any age would be able to do.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's
Debilitated.
focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
What?
I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else.
It's so hard to understand him. Here was a poll I was thinking of. It wasn't Biden's approval rating. It was 36% of countries said the U.S. is headed in the right direction.
There we
So
go.
that's the Rasmussen survey, which might also have a Biden approval rating in it. I need a platinum account to access this page. Fuck you, Rasmussen. Doesn't say anything about Biden in this exactly, or at least according to this Breitbart article. But this was the number I was thinking of, so it got screwed up in my brain. It was 36% think it's headed in the right direction. There we go, though. During an interview the following month, Biden appeared to fall asleep mid-answer. Oh, we watched this on the stream before.
God, yeah.
I kind of feel like this is a perfect time to go over this. I'm glad you showed me this article from The Federalist, because it is a new year. So and we've been doing this podcast now for about a year, podcast stream, whatever. So this is a good article to ring in the new year with I think we've covered all of these gaffes. I think we've covered all of them.
Yeah,
at the
most
time.
of these I've done.
Yeah.
I remember
least
this
most.
one because
Yeah,
I
me
used
too.
This,
This was amazing.
I put this in a thumbnail and I gave him the sleepy hat that my spoon is wearing.
Not
Not the same one, but one of those
Yeah, I know it,
hats.
the sleeping hats.
Yes.
How did those go out of style? Sleepy hats.
You know, when was the first time I think I saw them? It was
It was probably for me definitely Christmas Carol.
no, it was the old cartoons. It was Porky the Pig who used to wear them.
It must have been a Christmas Carol, I think.
Yeah.
And probably Porky the Pig and old
Yeah,
old cartoons too.
yeah. Super
I have
chats, by
not
the way.
made that formal
Yes, I will get to those in just a second. Let's watch Biden first, and then we'll get to super chats.
Yes, before we fall asleep as well.
decision, but
Yeah.
it's my intention. My intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President.
That is a man is like, oh my god, just give me an upper for the love of God.
Dr. Biden thinks that my
Well, Dr. Biden probably needs to get you your medicine.
wife thinks that that we're doing something very important.
Okay.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. Minnesota Faster 5 says the proof is in the pudding is a paraphrase, boss. Oh, okay. I kind of actually expected that to be the truth, but I've never heard the full phrase. The proof is of the pudding is in the eating is the original proverb. I kind of thought that was probably true, but I've never heard anyone else use it that way. So that's probably just a
He is very
idiosyncrasy. That's true. It's probably just an idiosyncrasy of our
And he also
modern
wants
language,
pudding.
right? Yeah, and I think he did just want pudding, honestly.
Yeah. And
I think at the end
I can't hear the word pudding without think of dancing
Pudding.
puddings that fucking Medico has on the stream.
Putty. Oh, I remember when that was a meme. Hasselhoff. Thank you, Minnesota. By the way, I thought that might have been the case, but thanks for elaborating. Hasselhoff for 5 says the proof is in the puddings and the eating is a valid idiom. Oh, same thing. Yeah. The expression has just been shifted since Joe first heard it under 1605. Yeah.
That's
So
pretty good.
I again I didn't know that, but am I gonna get so? We got last week's episode was completely copyright cocked over that little clip that I played of the este es un Reebok o es un Nike. They not just copyrighted, it's one of those things where it's like we want to get all the money from the whole stream, any viewership. It's like screw you. But oh, who cares? But I just want to just because we're talking about it. Oh, whoops. Nope, I don't want the image. Whoop. I'm struggling. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Just real quick. If we get copyrighted for this, I'm gonna be so upset.
Puddings.
Puddin'. It's only a 12-year-old meme. That's it. You're welcome. That's what Biden was thinking about, though. That's what I'm saying.
You know
he
what's
had
the
those
weirdest
he had
thing
those
that I see
pudding
in that
dancing
stream?
puddings in his head. What?
I see 4 young children and they're all of the same ethnicity. That's fucking weird to see.
Because it's Japanese, dude.
I know, but it's so fucking weird to see on television. Like, oh my god, we don't have multiracial groups of people on TV. That's fucking weird. Remember when people who were homogenous? Oh god, those were the days. It was like 5 years ago.
Noise pudding as flan. Yeah, true. It is, but giga pudding.
Am I reconsidering my life? No.
Memories of when the internet was fun. But this
God.
one's great. Biden gets lost on stage even when he's not
Oh my
speaking.
God, this is so
Biden shows
fucking
severe
funny.
signs of mental impairment. Shortly after his speech during the Global Fund's 7th Replenishment
Giga pudding.
Conference, which sounds scary, and hearing Biden appeared to get lost on stage before finally finding his way down. But don't take the Federalist word for it. Let's watch.
Scroll down a bit.
I do feel kind of bad for laughing at him because he's
Scroll
clearly
down a bit.
senile. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hang on. There we go.
There we go.
Let me go back a little bit because sorry, I poorly scrolled.
Listen to what he says, man.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you. At the end of such a momentous event, the word thank you seems kind of inadequate. But for all the millions whose lives will be saved, for the communities where life will be transformed, thank you. Just thank you, President Biden, for your
That's just... No one will look at this and think that man is in charge
Who was
of
that
fucking
talking?
anything.
It sounded a bit like Sebastian Gorka, but it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't Gorka.
Obviously it wasn't
So
Gorka.
it sounded a lot like him though.
Gorka would say,
Oh,
get
well.
this fucking old fuck.
Gorka would like get this senile old fuck off the stage. I thought we'd ring in the new year with something fun.
Dude,
I got another fun one relating to Biden, which you sent me this one as well.
Wait.
Biden threw fits
Oh,
about
God,
reminders
this is
of Trump in the
great.
White House. This is a short article. We've seen Joe Biden constantly lying about his background. Does this one have a link in it too? Actually, it might. So hang on.
Look at his face. Just look at that face. Go look at that face.
I know.
Right? There's so much. Okay,
He's
I
so
want
out
to
of
ask I want to ask the chat. What do you think if you see this face? Right?
Dead eyes, like a
describe me.
shark's eyes.
Right. Okay, like what? Because there's a bunch of things I can infer from this face. It's either he's deep in thought.
No.
It's probably
I mean,
not that one, right?
probably not.
It means
Unlikely.
either I don't know what the fucking hell I'm doing.
Or he shit his pants.
Like, oh god, not again. Yeah, maybe that.
He has definitely pooped his pants in this image.
Or he's thinking like, my god, I would love to have that piece of ass. Probably some shit like that.
I think he's pooped his pants.
He
That's
looks,
what that face
he looks
says to me.
Dead eyes.
Yeah. Or like not like a shark's like a doll's eyes, right? That was the quote. We've seen Biden constantly lying about his background to puff himself up, to make himself seem more than he is. That's narcissism, but it's also a sign of someone with severe insecurity problems. Someone who feels very deficient.
Wonder
That's why he always has to be the smartest. That's why he always calls his wife Dr. Biden, right? It's kind of bizarre. Most people don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm
Lights
just
are
saying,
up
like,
and nobody at home. Yeah, that's
well, no,
probably
I'm
true.
saying I know many academics. I don't know anybody within academe who calls their significant other, whether or not they themselves hold a doctorate, call their significant other doctor last name.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It is really weird, and I think that who wrote this at Red State?
It's like Ben Shapiro.
Nick Arama. Excuse me. Sorry, Nick.
It's
Nick Arama.
it's basically the title version of My Wife's a Doctor.
Well, that's it really
Yeah,
is,
it
and
really is.
Ben does do that a little bit too, which is
But-
also weird.
Yeah, but it's
And
a
I think
meme.
anybody, Ben does it now as a meme, but
Yeah,
you're right. Ben Shapiro does do that, and I think
Yeah.
I do think both are weird. I think both are weird because I've never run into anybody, generally speaking, who does that shit in real life. Do you know what I mean? Of being like, well, my wife is a doctor. Yeah, I think that's weird too, Ben. I also think the fact that he always calls her Dr. Biden is kind of bizarre. Maybe it's not. I don't know. No, I don't have a doctorate, so you can't call me Dr. Paladin. I only have a master's degree. I was working on the doctorate. I would like to finish it at some point, but
Dr. Paladin.
well, that isn't actually my name. I know, it's surprising, but
It sounds kind of cool though.
well, I mean, I guess it'd be in the, that's always a question: is when you get married, when you and then work as a doctor or professor, like, do you take your partner's last name? Sometimes people don't because their previous publications are under their maiden name, so they don't. But I have a couple publications, but I don't have a ton, so I don't know. I've got like 5 all in all. A lot of which are conference presentations and shit. So, well, what is it altogether? 2 book chapters, 3 co-authorships on research journals, journal papers, and what else do I have? Is that it? Yeah, I said 5. So it's 5. Oh, and 2 conference papers. So yeah, I think that's correct.
I want to see if I can get.
Yeah, that should be right. So 7 altogether. 7 citations. Which is, by the way, do you want to know what the average citations for people with? Do you want to know the average? Okay, excuse me, the mode, not the median. The mode citations for people with a doctorate is. Do you want to know what their mode citation number is? So I have 7, right? You want to know what the mode is? It's in the most frequently occurring number. Nah. Nope, not 4.
More or less.
Less.
2.
Less.
1.
1. It's their doctoral thesis.
That
is the mode. That is the mode for people with PhDs. Is their doctoral thesis is their only thing that's been published, and usually they have to pay to get it published.
And you have 7.
Yeah.
Are you trying to show off?
If you count conference papers. No, I went to a research institution. So like you get forced to be involved in research.
By the way, I want everyone in the chat to write, "Hope you feel better."
Huh?
No, I'm just gonna say that.
What does that mean?
Because a friend of mine isn't feeling well and she's in the chat, and I told everyone to say that.
Oh, feel better. Absolutely. Oh,
yes.
Sprendo spoons.
You know the one.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
Yeah, you can probably guess who it is, but yeah.
Hopefully, it is a new year. Hopefully, everybody feels good. There's some people who are definitely not.
Fine.
Some people who definitely aren't feeling good right now. We're gonna get to some of that here in a moment. But I thought
you're an asshole right now, Spoon.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Well, I thought we'd front load the more fun stuff because we're gonna get into some stuff that's kind of fucked in a minute. Hence the title of the stream. According to a new book from Chris Whipple about Joe Biden, the fight of his life, Biden appears to have been very intimidated by President Donald Trump. What? Fight of his life or Chris Whipple?
He didn't name Mr. Whipple.
It's pretty good.
You sound like you've been ice cream tycoon.
Oh, for sure. As I previously reported, Biden was concerned that members of the Secret Service might still be loyal to Trump, and he was afraid to talk around them. He thought some might be MAGA sympathizers because so many were ex-cops. Okay, now let me tell you something about this. I want to pause.
I kind of want to pause and speak about that
I don't trust any of this. In the same way that I don't trust the Donald Trump was the insider reporting about Trump talking about wanting to put sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their head into a moat. You remember this reporting? Do you remember that book? It's one of the funniest things I've ever, in my entire life, ever read. There was a White House insider who said that they overheard Trump saying that he wanted to, this is the things he wanted to do at the border. He wanted to dig a moat. He wanted to expand the Rio Grande River to turn it into a giant moat and fill it with eels and crocodiles. I am not joking. This is what this person claims they heard Trump say in the Oval Office, and that he wanted to put sniper towers all along the border and tell the snipers to aim for the legs of migrants so that they would fall into the moat and get eaten alive by the alligators they had filled it with.
That's
I'm
based,
not.
Actually.
It is based, but there's no way that that's real. There's no way that's real.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can say that, but if I read the rest of this story, do I believe Biden is that petty that he would actually believe this crap? Yeah, I actually do.
Giraffe with rocket launchers on their chests. Yes, sharks with laser beams on their heads. Okay, is Biden that petty? Yes. Is it also possible that Trump did say that shit because Trump might have said that shit? Also possible.
I mean, Trump does say some insane shit for the funny. I mean, he's known for trolling.
If he was trolling, yeah, I don't think he would have said that seriously. But it is really funny. Anywho, I'm just saying, I'm putting my skeptical hat on with this shit as I would with anything where it's like, oh, I overheard the president say or do this.
This
Just a
guy
little
gets,
skeptical,
This guy
okay.
gets following the New York Times.
Well, so did the woman who wrote that book, was also like a New York Times writer or WAPO or some other rag.
That's what I'm saying. But like, shit talking Trump, I can understand. But when it's shit talking Biden, it's like, huh.
That is true.
That
is true.
That is a bit strange.
That is true.
Yeah, the gatekeeper is how the White House chief of staff defines every presidency. His most recent book, The Spy Master, is how the CIA director shapes the future, will be reissued paperback October 20th. This is a guy, by the way. I'm wondering what is the kind of shit that he writes. Because he's apparently written some articles, and I'm curious as to... well, he's against Colin Powell, and that's kind of based.
According to Whipple, Biden was so insecure he wanted to get rid of the famous Resolute desk in the Oval Office just because Trump used it, even though it had been used by many presidents before Trump and was of historic significance. Well, you know, I made a joke to you about this in private, one about why Biden didn't want to sit at that desk.
You can say it on here, by the way.
Because a black man had sat there. I mean, that's not the word I think Biden would use in his senile, addled brain, where he thinks it's probably still 1960 and Corn Pop's still a bad dude. I don't think he used the word black man. But you know what I mean.
Is very strange because I thought he would get along really well with Bill Clinton. Well, I mean, both of them do have something in common. They prefer their women like Leonardo DiCaprio does.
Oh.
And
wait,
younger
what?
Than I
French?
prefer my witch
Oh. Queen Victoria gave it to the White House as a gift in 1880, and John F. Kennedy was the first to use the desk in the Oval Office. After Kennedy, the desk moved around a little, including to the Smithsonian, but it came back to the Oval Office under Jimmy Carter, what an embarrassment, in 1977, and has been used by every president since, becoming the fixture of the room. But Biden wanted to replace it with a desk belonging to Franklin D. Roosevelt. Oh! So, wonder why you would pick FDR of all people.
You can tell
the man who destroyed the separation of the branches of government, who massively inflated the power of the federal government to
gargantuan proportions,
just ruin any chance that the United States as a democratic republic really had succeeding permanently.
He was the closest thing America
founder of the Fed.
Dictator.
Well, not the original founder of the Fed, but really institutionalized the Fed, which is unconstitutional as fuck, and the FBI. A complete piece of crap.
I mean, it's quite funny that you would pick FDR. He was the man who presided over the worst recovery, since Obama, funnily enough.
Lego My Ego's correct. Worst president aside from Wilson. Absolutely correct.
Yeah. And
but a socialist.
He also had a terrible economic record. His own Secretary of the Treasury said after 8 years, we have just as much debt as we have just as much unemployment as we started, and enormous debt to boot. I think it was in New Deal or Raw Deal by Burton Folsom Jr. I read this. Read the book, by the way; it's really good. Read anything by Burton Folsom Jr. It's really good. He said that if you were to have taken $100 and put it away every minute from the moment that Christopher Columbus set foot on American soil till the 1930s, you would not be able to pay off the debt that was incurred just in the 1930s. There was more debt occurred in the 1930s than all previous U.S. presidents combined.
Yep.
That's how much fucking debt that fucking jackass put it. It's funny. This shows you a lot about FDR. Do you know what he says in his book, the most depressing thing of his life was?
What?
I think when he was either early years in government or when he was at college, there was an elite club he couldn't get into. He said that was the most depressing thing of his life.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah. So
fucking course it was.
Yeah, because he was just a snob. That's all he was. Yeah. He was an entitled, fucking terrible president. He presided over the worst economic record, massive debt spending, and he accomplished absolutely fucking nothing. And then, look, the Second World War happened. Oh, our economic numbers are better and our unemployment numbers are a lot lower. Yeah, because you send people off to die in a war, you fucking moron.
Oh, precisely. Yeah, the thing is, he didn't invent the FBI, obviously. But
no, the FBI was started under Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes. The other
At least the backbone was started.
Yes.
I remember this because when the FBI thing broke, I went like, I have to read about the history of the FBI. Oh, also, J. Edgar Hoover was a fuckhead.
Hoover, absolutely a fuckhead. all of the massive consolidation of power in the federal government and its various proxy
Wilson.
agencies was Franklin D. Roosevelt and Wilson, who codified all that shit. And that's why, yeah, pretty much the two worst presidents in history. So I'm in no way shocked, because Biden has also said before that that FDR is like his hero, right?
Yeah. You
What
can
a
tell
shock.
lot about someone who their heroes are. Like, oh, I want to be like the guy who massively expanded the size of government. Like, why?
I don't know, if you have to pick a political person that you'd say who's your hero, right? I don't mean to like throw one at you real quick. Who would it be?
Mine?
It could be modern or historical. Let's keep it to modern. Keep it to modern, contemporary.
Rutherford Hayes.
Really? I mean,
wonder why.
if we're talking about still living figures, how about that?
Oh, like,
contemporaries.
We're just going like U.S. presidents.
No, I'm saying anyone in politics.
Because I could just to keep it topical as far as U.S. presidents go, I would say Trump would be up there.
Trump would be up there for me.
Yeah, but I would think Calvin Coolidge.
He's been dead for forever. I was saying contemporary.
He's the last century.
Okay, last century. Well, I mean, like, obviously mine's Ron Paul, but you know.
Yeah.
Ron Paul or Justice Thomas.
Yeah.
You know.
I would have
Ned Kelly.
I would have
Thank
said.
you, LG.
Yeah, I would have go with Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson had a bit of a temper on him.
Yeah, he did.
But I would say Calvin Coolidge, because Calvin Coolidge was apparently quite a soft-spoken gentleman, but he had really good economic record. I think.
If we're talking just presidents, I mean, I gotta just presidents besides Trump. I gotta throw it to Reagan. Sorry, I gotta throw it to Reagan.
I remember when I think Sticks and Razorfist, they had like a published thing where they had rate presidents by like A, B, C, D, and F, and I think I think Razorfist had Coolidge either as an A or a B.
Yeah, Coolidge is pretty good.
Yeah,
my understanding of him.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with that with his era though, so that's a problem.
He was
I can't speak.
He was the one who presided over the Roaring Twenties.
Yes, I know, but I don't know enough about him to say anything definitively.
Well, he only served one full term.
Yes,
because he came.
That
in
part
after,
I did know.
Yes, he came in after Warren G. Harding, and Warren G. Harding sounds exactly like he looks. He looks like a scary, haunted motherfucker.
Yeah.
Warren G. Harding. And Calvin Coolidge looks like his complete opposite. Calvin Coolidge just looks like a nerdy professor of that age. And he was apparently he had Secretary of Treasury was Andrew Mellon. So that explains why they were doing so particularly well.
Carnegie Mellon, yes. Right, which is actually the reason I probably know much of anything about Coolidge is because of Mellon.
Yeah.
Because for £5 also says
my go-to.
Yeah, I think that's totally.
Or
I have to
maybe.
learn Eisenhower. I think also be a good pick. I have to read more about Coolidge. You know more actually about a lot of the U.S. presidents, particularly from the turn of the century, than I do. Kizza for £5 says, "Evening all. The Great Depression took 23 years to recover from, so leftists can shut up about the 3 failed deals in question." Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, the New Deal was fucking terrible. I find it so funny because I was thinking about this. The one thing that I always hear from left, and this is a particular problem with leftists, like particularly the Jimmy Dore types, because he said before, "Oh look, we've got more income disparity since the Gilded Age." I went to take a look at the Gilded Age, right? Like, the Gilded Age is like the 1800s, turn of the century, right? And then what happens after the Gilded Age? Oh, we got the Progressive era.
Yeah, and then what happens immediately following the Progressive era?
Yes, you get Warren G. Harding and
the Great Depression.
Yes. But you had a period of prosperity first.
Right.
Under
Of course,
a Republican, you had Calvin Coolidge and Warren G. Harding. But before that, you had Taft, Wilson, and fucking Teddy Roosevelt. You had 3.
The worst.
Yes, you had 3 progressive presidents.
Giant spenders.
Yes.
Now, okay.
Yeah. Well,
did they take your money and spend it on great projects?
No.
Grand projects? Well, they did to a certain degree.
Did.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. More than Gilded Age president. There was grand projects, things like
But do you know my issue with that,
big road projects? I think that would have been like Mount Rushmore, and it was that era, wasn't it? That who started the Mount Rushmore project?
I have no idea who that. No one did.
But that's what they always get credit for. Is like we did these big projects, but they were like
some
okay.
of early America's skyscrapers were built in that era. You can see with the Art Deco.
Mm-hmm.
So that should tell you one thing. But I
yeah.
will say, the thing that always bugs me with the leftists, especially when the Gilded Age, is when you look at this and they go, "Oh my goodness, there's massive amounts of corruption with big business and government. Quick, we must expand government so that those people who have money will then buy the bigger size of scope of fucking government that was just expanded."
Oh, it
Jeez,
was
who couldn't
Coolidge.
fucking see that coming from a mile off? Which
Coolidge commissioned Rushmore.
that wouldn't
think.
surprise me.
Yeah.
He was actually a decent president, though. But yeah,
There were a lot of those things in
there's a
that
lot of
period,
money,
though, where there were just these big government projects.
Well, it's the Roaring '20s. They had money.
They had money, right? Yeah, they
Yeah.
had the money to do it.
Like, hey, guess
Anywho.
what? If you lower people's taxes, you might actually be able to get more people to pay taxes because the taxes are lower, and then you get more tax revenue overall.
True.
Thomas Sowell wrote about this. It's been tried 4
Yes,
times.
that
in
is
history,
true.
and it's worked every fucking time. One of them was
Yeah, I don't-
Kennedy, bizarrely.
I'm so unfortunately like historically illiterate on this period that I really don't have anything like positive to contribute to this discussion. I just don't. You know way more about like I don't know anything about basically the
I read
1800s,
I read
the
a-
late 1800s into the
I read
to
a
the
book
mid
called
1900s.
"A Myth of the Robber Barons" by Burton Fossum.
Oh, you recommended that book to me.
Yes, and he goes over some of the sort of behind the scenes of the oil, rail, steamboat, and steel, and how the industries came about. And oh my fucking god, the amount of goddamn money that governments wasted even during those times.
Insane.
Jesus fucking H Christ.
But they had the
assume
money.
that-
They had the money to throw around.
I know, but I'm still looking at it because
It's still horrifying, though.
Yes,
Imagine
but-
if they hadn't wasted it. If they hadn't taken it from people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you
Imagine
you
how much
s- you
different things would be
see-
today.
You see all of these titans basically outcompete the government because the government fucking
Yeah.
sucks and government has
Well,
no
yeah.
reason to innovate. Whereas
Of
someone
course
who's trying
not.
to innovate, where did my interest in American politics come from? It's very simple. America has this massive dick, and they keep smashing the shit out of the world with it. And
Yeah.
then when you go, why the hell do you jackasses do this dumb shit? And then America goes, oh, we run the world, and then they get upset when the rest of the world looks at the dumb shit they do.
I mean, I've said this before on the show, but to reiterate, it really, I think, would benefit a lot of Americans. And I know many, many people have said this. So I'm rearranging. I mean, a ton of people have said, but
Go on.
it would really benefit a lot of
I like
Americans
when
to
you know
spend
people.
a significant amount of time out of the States. I don't care where it
That's
is.
how works.
It doesn't matter if it's Europe or Asia or South America or Africa. It doesn't really matter. It would behoove, I think, any American to spend. And I don't mean go on a vacation for a week.
Live.
And by the way, I know this is something that like 1% of people can do or would be willing to do or would have any reason to do. So it's never going to happen. But if for any reason you ever had an opportunity to study abroad or to take a job abroad and live someplace else for 6 months to a year, I think it puts so many things into perspective as to why the rest of the world hates Americans.
Yeah, you
I-
told me
I
about
think-
this, that once you got outside of America and you saw it, you were like, oh my god, I understand now why. What did Bill say?
What did you say, Bill? I kind of missed it. Me living here has made you understand why people hate Americans?
That doesn't speak
Okay.
well of you, Aiden.
He's just being a big rude.
But because I remember I spoke to you about this. The one thing, because from the perspective of myself, you, and Sargon, what is the one thing that all three of us have in common? And all three of us have spent a considerable time outside of our birth countries.
Yeah.
Like you've lived in the UK for a while. I've lived in Ireland for the most of my life, and Sargon spent a significant amount of time in Germany.
Yeah.
So all three of us
yeah.
are outside of our host nation for a while, and I think that is probably the one thing that gives us a more outsider's perspective. That, and you and I are not really in the cliched political fight. We are monarchists. So
I really think
we
that
look at
it
from
does help.
outside.
You getting out of your, if you can, and again, I know it's like basically impossible for 99% of
Most
people.
yeah.
Well, because there's no reason for you to, unless you have a reason to do it. You know, either for education or for
Because
work,
Lady Aiden told you to.
or or you know, I moved here because I met my rude husband Bill. Love you too.
Bill's funny,
is
though.
I know Bill's hilarious, but for the most people, it's not, you know, probably a thing that's going to happen. But if you get an opportunity to spend not a week when week's not going to help, you know, a week's not going to do anything. Particularly because you're traveling, you're going to be like in a hotel and seeing not how people actually live outside of where you're from. And so I do think it's so many of the most, the people who have the best political takes are people who, in my experience, who have lived all over the world. You know who else has lived all over the place?
Moldbug.
Right? Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I knew
Someone
you
who-
were going with it the
Yeah.
second you said, you know who, like, I know Moldbug is going to be on this
You know
podcast.
who else?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I mean, I just think that it doesn't mean that people who haven't are like lesser in some way. I just think that it gives living outside of like your home country for a significant period of time helps give perspective to where you come from, the things that you do that you deeply value about your home country, and the things that you have a problem with. People have often called me a traitor, right? I'm sure I've told you've seen this. People have called me a traitor for being a monarchist. When I consider
Sounds
myself a
mean
true
you're
American, I consider myself an American patriot. But the
Government
monarchy
still
thing,
sucks.
the government monarchy thing, I think has nothing to do with that. I really do. Again, like as we've said many times, a lot of the founding fathers wanted George Washington to become king.
Yeah,
So I
including
actually don't see
Hamilton.
anything. Yes, including Hamilton. So I don't think anything about my position there is in any
Do you know
way
what his
contradictory to
justification-
the
you know what his
opinions of the founding
justification for that
fathers.
would be?
Mhm.
His justification was they'd be too busy concerned with being reelected than rather running the country. And wasn't he fucking right on that?
Mm-hmm.
He was dead on the fucking money with that. And also,
Very true.
Watery, you do give a massive shit what the rest of the fucking world thinks because they come to your country and peddle for fucking money. He's called the Ukrainian president right about now.
Oof.
So yeah, you can say like I don't really give a shit. Well, guess what? The rest of the world gives a shit what the fuck you jackasses say and do. Like Russia or China, considering that your fucking
China.
politicians take marching orders from people outside of your own fucking borders and not even the
Oof.
people you vote for.
You know, I saw something really gross today. I'm gonna talk. Depends on how far we get this tonight, but Jeremy
I
Renner
will trash the
got,
fuck out of Americans, especially get sassy.
Jeremy
about
Renner
shit.
ran over his own leg in his snowplow. It's a complicated story. I'll get into it. It's really sad, but
How the hell do you even do that?
my guess probably is that he did not have it in park. Or he didn't have the brake all the way on, and he stepped out because you know it's got those rollers or whatever you call them, the treads,
Yeah, the treads.
and he probably fell and got sucked under it. He's okay. One of his legs is probably really fucked up, but I was getting over this later. But like people on Twitter, of course, celebrating because they think he's not woke enough.
Off.
Oh God, I had a point to bring this up, and now I've all of a sudden lost it.
I like the way people are mentioning
Fuck.
Dev in the chat.
God, I had a reason to bring up that Jeremy Renner story. What were we talking about a second ago? I've totally lost my train of thought. God dang it.
Europeans
was a
live
real-
in cubicles and go to a laundromat. We're not
Europeans live in cubicles and go
We're not fucking Asians.
laundromats. I had some reason for bringing up that Jeremy Renner story. I've forgotten it. Anyway, okay.
We should really watch that. We should watch that centrist video.
Which one?
The one that.
Do you
Dev
want
did.
to? I don't have it in my show notes because I don't think. Okay, do you want to? Let's get through this article and then we'll watch it. Okay.
Because I
'Cause
watched that and I'm like, Dev.
But here's the thing:
here is yourself.
if we react to it, someone's gonna tell Dev, and then
So?
he's not gonna actually watch the stream. He's just gonna hear that, oh, Aiden and Spoon reacted to your video and think that I said something negative about him when I don't have any beef with them whatsoever. Like so. Anyway,
But who cares? He can watch it for himself.
why don't I? Wait,
If-
why are people
if-
saying that?
if Dev is gonna listen to some jackass that just says,
Oh,
"Oh, look,
Ken
Aiden
Block.
Spoon were talking about you," and then he doesn't watch it, it just means he's easily manipulated.
Yeah. Kids of her £5 says, I'll be back at midnight. Can we please have some F's in chat to respect Ken Block, please? Yeah, Ken Block unfortunately passed away. That did not seem to have anything to do with, that was just an accident, which was very sad. He died in an accident, as far as I can tell. And yes, F for Ken Block and his family. Rest in peace. That was terrible. We'll get to some other deaths, but
do we have any alcohol?
I wanted to, huh?
Have any alcohol?
I do, but I'm actually going to replace my drink very soon. So,
With
do you want
more
to?
alcohol.
How about we get through this? What do I have next? I always have massive show notes.
Yeah.
So,
okay. I did want to do a video on
Can
this
I-
actually.
can I get through my Biden stuff, and then we'll move on to other things? Okay.
Go on.
So do this real quick. That wasn't all. He would curse. Okay, yeah. He got rid of Trump's Resolute desk, right? He
No,
would
he
curse
didn't.
out Trump. What?
No, he
Well, he
didn't.
wanted to. He wanted
Yeah.
to. Sorry, excuse me. He wanted to. That wasn't all. He would curse out Trump whenever he took a friend around the presidential quarters, according to
That's a
Whipple.
lie, by the way. He has no friends.
Again, yeah. Again, I don't. Like I said, just like the moats full of eels and sharks or alligators. I don't.
Do I
don't
believe
oh,
Biden would be this petty? Yes.
Yes, I do, but I also think
Yeah.
Trump might have talked about putting alligators in a moat. Whatever. He was also upset that
Can we
Trump
believe
had
both
a.
is true?
He also upset that Trump had a big screen television and a golf simulator that allowed Trump to practice his swing. It was still at the White House when Biden got there. He showed it to a guest, cursing Trump, saying, "What a fucking hole, asshole." Sorry, he just read hole. I missed it. I thought he meant like a hole isn't a hole in one. As we saw in video of him golfing at St. Croix with his grandson, it looks like Biden is a pretty lousy golfer. Haha.
That's
But
because the
also,
stick is too heavy.
yeah, all that background information makes this video Biden put out to try and impress us with all the bills he signed, all the funnier, knowing he was probably reminded of Trump as he sat there.
I just
Folks,
realized
we're
something.
wrapping up one of the most
Look at all his bills.
Yeah.
Look at all the things that he signed without reading them. Aren't you impressed that your president is going to sit there and put his name on a whole bunch of pieces of paper that he's not going to read?
The text is probably too small.
Oh, I can try to make it a little bit bigger.
No. I mean on the fucking on the bills.
Oh yeah, he can't read that shit either. He definitely can't read that shit.
productive, most productive legislative sessions in decades.
I love how productive means signing shit you're not reading.
Yes. And also, I just realized something. This would explain why he doesn't like being in the White House, why he spends so much time in Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hates being in the White House, because it reminds him of Trump.
Oh, good point. Good freaking point.
Also, the fact that Trump bothers him this much tells me
Yeah.
that he knows that he
Rent-free.
rent-free. He also knows that he's shit.
Yeah. He knows.
Yeah, he knows that he's a fucking terrible president.
Obviously. And Dreadnought for 5 says, did you hear that Mr. Medicare is retiring and is terminally ill? I definitely did. I was live to catch it. I was there live watching his final stream.
That sucks.
Pray for him. I do pray for Jim. Jim is a good guy. He's one of the greatest entertainers of our age. I really do think that. What a funny, like just naturally funny dude.
Person, yeah.
That is a gift. That is a true gift.
Yeah.
And I do hope he recovers. And if it's not possible, I'll pray for Jim in this life and in the next.
Someone asked me who's going to be the next Jim, and I said there won't be. Like he's unique.
He is unique. There will be someone else who's funny and entertaining. But Jim's his own person. I don't like that. Who's the next one? Fuck that shit.
Yeah, there won't be another Jim.
No, you have brought so much laughter to so many people. Jim Medicare.
That guy has made me cry tears.
Oh, I know. I just asked him to come onto a stream one time when I had like 5,000 subs, and he came on and just hung out with me for a bit. And this was years ago, like 5 years ago. It was cool. He's a really chill guy. He really is. And always appears to have been a chill guy. Some suggest Ricada. Don't put that shit on anybody, because Jim's his own guy. This is always this weird. Then you end up in this weird daddy stuff that people do on the internet that's really gay and nobody should do. Don't do the daddy stuff of like, who's the next daddy? That's some Fuentes tier stuff. Don't do it. Don't engage in daddyism. Daddyism, as in Sargon's thing, is fine, but don't do daddy stuff. That's cringe.
I agree. Don't call me that. It's weird.
Call him Daddy Spoon. It makes him upset.
For fuck's sake.
Call him Papa Spoon. He likes that one better.
Yeah, I don't mind that because that's like kind of adorable.
Today we've got 65. 65
Look at him rubbing 'em.
bipartisan bills for me to sign into law.
Bipartisan
Ready?
bill, dude. Just because you got a
Get
bunch
set,
of like fucking rhino Republicans does not mean a bipartisan.
Yeah, they're not bipartisan.
Basically, unipartisan.
Oh, who cares? I don't care. It's fucking copyrighted by life, that music anyway. So is he reading these? Oh, look, he's not reading them. He's just
No.
signing his name. How
He has
impressive.
no idea what the fuck he's even signing.
Yeah.
That's why people had made fun of him, by the way. Read that second
Yeah.
part.
Yep. It was also another sign of Biden's perpetual insecurity. Look at all the bills I've signed. However, got mocked as performance art and for being typical of Democrats because he signed them without reading any of them in the video. Frankly, I'm not even sure he knows what he's signing. Exactly. He just is signing them. He's not reading them. Obviously. You keep doing this shit and then you want to be patted on the back for not even reading the crap that you're signing. So yeah, Trump is living rent-free in what remains of Biden's head. We've got some more Biden
I mean,
news.
there's
We'll move
plenty
through
of
this.
room.
It is empty now and plenty of room. So remember, one of the things that
there was plenty of room when he was fucking younger.
Biden's like, oh, I'm Irish and I'm a Catholic, and that makes me the first Irish Catholic.
He's trying to keep
sorry.
his dentures.
Sorry, JFK beat you to that one, homie. Whoopsie daisy. But he tries. So a reporter asked Biden why he's not attending Pope Benedict's funeral. Let's watch.
Funeral tomorrow. Why?
What a horrible noise.
Well, you tell me. You can tell me, sir.
Entourage of 1,000 people. It's really hard to hear because of the helicopter.
Yeah.
I inquired about it.
Why?
I can't hear it. Oh, he said, I'm just getting in the way. So he said at the end, it's really hard to hear because of that fucking helicopter.
It's also because he's got a mush mouth.
Here's the thing, Biden. I think the reason why you weren't invited to attend the Pope's... I think you weren't invited to attend the Pope's funeral because you're not a Catholic. Because you support abortion. And I don't think the Catholics want anything to do with you. And that's sad, because the Catholic Church is kind of fucked.
And also,
So-
they already have problem with kitty fiddlers.
Right, they don't need another one. They already... But it's not the only embarrassing thing that's happened with the Biden admin. Some people have been sworn in recently, Spoon. I think we'd
really?
like
I
to
don't
see...
even know
Why don't
this.
we look at some of their swearing-in ceremonies? They're very,
Oh God! This
we have our boy here. We have we have our boy here, John Fetterman. He is being sworn in by Kamala Harris. Let's see how
God,
this
his
goes for our boy.
Congratulations, Senator. Congratulations. And then the whole family? Or are we going to do the three of us? Okay.
And again. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Hi, family. Do you remember we talked on a FaceTime? You remember that? Good. Hi. Congratulations.
Look how checked out Fetterman is. He has no idea what the hell is going on.
So just look this way for
Looks
me.
like their bodyguard.
He does.
Right here, big smile. And just have your hands down your sides, nice and relaxed. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
He didn't follow that order at all.
2,
Put your hands at your
1.
sides. Nope.
And 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Congratulations,
And now he does.
everyone. Nice to see you. Good to see
Wait,
you
really?
here.
Jesus, Lurch is completely checked out. But here's what I want. Here's what we're gonna do, chat. I now that you've seen that, I want you to keep that in your mind.
Gets you people.
I want you to keep that in your mind. That was one signing in ceremony for John Fetterman. We're gonna vote which one is worse. That one, John Fetterman,
Oh, there's more.
or Katie Hobbs. Sorry, here we go. Let me make sure this. Okay,
God, this
you might have to
is
hear this.
cringe already.
This is wait for it.
Kathleen Marie Hobbs, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution. Stop it,
If you didn't catch it, because it's a little bit hard to hear, Katie Hobbs, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution. She looks at the person that who's got this book held out to her, the Bible, by the way, and goes, "I can't take this seriously." Is that what she said again? Let me rehear because it was something like that.
Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution.
Support the Constitution.
Stop it, Mom.
Stop it! Stop it! This is who you elected. She can't even stop herself from giggling as if she's still a schoolgirl. I'm sure she wishes she was at the idea of upholding the Constitution.
The law of the land.
And laughing as she holds her hand on the Bible. I'm sure it burns, Katie. I'm sure it goddamn burns. And I had this for a different segment of this show, but it actually
this funny.
It actually makes more sense for this one.
What a fucking
Democrat lawmaker plans to take oath on Superman comic.
Is this a meme? Is this
Nope.
serious?
Yep. Now, you don't have to make it on the Bible. I don't know what you use, but you can use the Quran, the Buddhist Sutra, the Hindu Veda. Law books have all been used in recent years. I think it should be on the Bible, but I'm a little biased. One incoming lawmaker will use a vintage Superman comic worth close to $5.2 million while being sworn in.
I mean, Superman does fight for America, so I can kind of understand that. From a meme perspective, it makes sense. From a law perspective,
But you understand that from the moral perspective is that you are swearing on something that is a higher power above yourself. To say, I
But Superman can fly. He's
am
literally
held
above it.
accountable. Yeah, but Superman, I guess Superman's not real, and a lot of people will be like, ha ha, Sky Daddy, ha ha, Sky Daddy. They won't say that about Islam, by the way, they'll say that about Christianity. But, you know.
Yeah, up until the
ha ha,
Christian
Sky
punches
Daddy.
him in the fucking face, then they'll shut up real
Right.
fucking quick.
Teehee, you're Sky Daddy. Yeah, say that to a Muslim. Say that to even a Buddhist or a Hindu and see what the fuck
Say it to a
happens.
Muslim and you might lose your head.
For real.
You want to say
We'll
base language?
be proudly sworn into Congress on the U.S. Constitution. Under the Constitution will be items that mean a lot to me personally. A photo of my parents who I lost to COVID, my citizenship certificate, and an original copy of Superman #1 from the Library of Congress.
Oh god, you're cringe.
It's
this
just
isn't- wait,
so-
it's in the Library of Congress. Oh
Yeah,
because
it has to be.
Yeah, because it's like an American.
It's yeah.
It's
If you see some of the real stupid shit that's in the Library of Congress, you would be shocked. There's really dumb shit in there. Now look, I love Superman. I'm a huge Superman fan. He's
Like
swearing
Captain
in under the
America makes more
Constitution.
sense.
He's swearing in the Constitution. He's not using a religious text. I know Superman as well. Superman. If you also know the history of the authors of Superman, it's as being a representation of the people whose families escaped Germany during the pogroms before the Holocaust. But
before Uncle Andy.
they are very specifically referencing, Simon and Schuster is specifically referencing the golem idea, right? And they talk about it. They've talked about it and elaborated upon it extensively, which is really fucked up when you realize that Superman that DC just straight up stole Superman from them. Is that he would be someone who could protect people that they could put their faith in, and he was a golem, right? Superman is a golem. And there's some fascinating history. There's a really great video on YouTube, actually, that I would, if you're interested in Superman as a golem, that's by a Jewish rabbinic scholar, I think. If he's not a rabbinic scholar, he's a literary scholar that I watched a while back. It was a really good video though, where he talks about the history of Superman as the golem. It is really interesting, but I still find this. I think you should have to swear on the Bible or whatever holy text you consider. I actually think that the West is based on Christianity, so it probably should be the Bible. But because it is, but I just find this fucking lame, to be honest. Anywho,
What about the people
Biden
that died from climate change recently?
We're gonna get into that. So I wanted to cover this real quick, and then I'm gonna take a really quick break because we've been going for a little bit. The House is without a speaker as McCarthy fails to secure a majority in 6 rounds of voting. This is still live right now.
McCarthy, you kind of suck.
Everyone hates McCarthy, but there are these rhinos who, just a couple holdouts, who keep voting for him and holding this shit up, so they have to keep voting for it over and over again. This has not happened since the Civil War, by the way. That was the last time they couldn't find a speaker. And it took this kind of contention to find a speaker.
Oh my god, we can make a first black Republican speaker there. Dude, who gives a fuck about whether he's black?
Who cares? Racists. That's who cares about whether or not he's black.
You're just virtue signaling fuckwits. Seriously.
Look, Jim Jeffries is who, as far as I can tell, everybody who's not a neocon wants, right?
That's because Jim Jeffries is kind of base.
Yeah. JRT is king. Aiden, what's the best Superman movie and why is it Superman versus the Elite? Superman 2. Come on.
Jim Jordan,
yeah. Jim Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I say Jim Jeffries is a comedian.
Jeffries, Jim Jordan.
Jim Jordan.
It's because I read the word Jeffries here and it fucked up my brain.
Hmm.
No, it is Jeffries, isn't it?
No, it's Jim Jordan.
Jim Jordan. Yeah, my brain's getting all fucked up by
Matt
reading
Gaetz
that.
wants him to be
Matt Gaetz is, well, not just Matt Gaetz. It's pretty much everybody. It's not everybody. I don't get this split. I really don't get it. Do you have any idea why this is happening?
What, from the MAGA Republicans?
I guess so. Yeah, not Jim Jeffries, Jim Jordan. It's because I saw the name Jeffries there, and my brain got fucked, and I know that name. So,
Do
but
you know who'd make the best speaker?
Hmm.
He's I give you his initials, DJT.
That's not it.
You don't need to be in Congress to be the speaker.
No, I mean, but Trump has shitty opinions. Trump tells conservative lawmaker to stick with Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, fuck off. Trump.
When they wrote this article, Jim Hoft, who is great, by the way, he had failed 3 times. It's now 6.
Yeah.
It's been 100 years, and now it was not decided in the first vote. We are seriously at freaking
That's good, though.
worse than Civil War era trying to find the speaker. This is so deeply embarrassing for the Republicans. And Trump, I don't know why he's going with McCarthy. Jordan is the obvious pick. I don't get it.
Yeah, clash of egos now.
Yes, it is. It's clash of egos. Trump's decided he wants to support McCarthy, so this is what he's going to do. This is so deeply and severely goddamn embarrassing. Yeah, there's 20 holding the line against McCarthy. Yeah.
Good.
So
hold the line. Don't fuck.
But they should hold the line. They should hold the line because McCarthy is a loser. So I mean, it's he clearly cannot get it in. So just give up. Just give up and give it to Jordan because clearly this is not going to work.
Yes.
Jim Jordan doesn't want it. Keebler says, probably, or maybe I don't know. Well, somebody's got to freaking take it though. And there's a strong contingent who doesn't want McCarthy. If not Jim Jordan, then someone's going to have to take it. I don't think Matt Gaetz wants it either. This is a real fucked situation. The Republicans, this makes them look extremely weak.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. The fact that they cannot figure out who their own speaker is, I think it makes them look extremely weak and divided. This is one thing that the Democrats have going for them. There's no division amongst them. They just agree. They all agree with each other.
That's because they don't have any minds.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's quite that simple, but they know that it's easier to just always agree.
And also because they're already in power. That's the fucking reason. Whereas they don't have any kind of Puritan fight going on.
Jordan's declined to take it? Taste the Matrix? Oh, interesting.
God damn it. I have no idea who the hell. But yes,
weak. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's pathetic, is what it is. It's what a shit show. What an absolute shit show.
I don't actually think I don't have quite the pessimistic approach as you do.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe I'm being overtly pessimistic. I
think it shows that the people who are holding out have a fucking spine.
I think that
I think
they
it shows
do.
That they have a pair of balls. Like that to me is like, no, fuck you. I'm not voting for you. You can fuck off. Like that's based.
That's true.
And it's like, no, I'm gonna burn the fucking house down. I will not sell out. I will not. I have absolute values, and McCarthy can fuck off. Like that's someone you can take to the bank.
I haven't followed this story very closely. I know it's been all over the news, but I've been working on my video, so I haven't followed this super closely.
Also, Trump going with McCarthy is not a win. It's a sign of submission and weakness.
That's why I said it seems like weakness. The people who are holding out, it does make the whole it makes the Republicans look weak to the Democrats for the same reason that like I just said a couple minutes ago.
That's
The
the way the
Democrats,
Democrats see it.
because yes, it makes us look weak to them because they don't. Yes, they have internal disagreements behind closed doors. They don't have public disagreements,
Because it
or
get
very,
beaten.
very rarely do. Very rarely do because they have to all be on board with the same narrative. So this is not. It's not a great look for the Republicans. It's a good look for those who are standing strong. I would say those who are standing strong behind their convictions. It is a good look for them, but
That's because they capitulate.
Yeah.
Look at look at the squad versus Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer totally capitulated like a fucking bitch.
yeah, what a cunt. Excuse me, cuck. Same shit.
Same
What
thing,
would you
yeah.
like? What would you like to do next? I have a couple things. I want to watch a little bit of that Vice feminism debate, but it's long as fuck.
There was a Vice feminism debate?
The one with Sydney Watson.
Oh god, that's gonna end well.
You haven't seen it? I told you about it the other day.
I don't
Everyone's
really watch
covering it.
feminists. Really?
No, oh my god, it's amazing. There's a couple of things I want to cover though too.
Is that a
So
woman bashing another woman?
yes,
That's sexy.
no, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Show the title
Must
of
be
the
chat.
show is that means it's working. Let's run through the COVID stuff real quick. Why don't we? We're in it way long enough now that we can talk about it. So, I'm going to grab a drink and use the restroom real quick, but I do want to say a couple of things about Uche, excuse me. Uche was a frequent, not totally frequent, but a regular contributor to Geeks and Gamers. I've interacted with Uche a couple of times. No, I think we were on a stream together once. I heavily disagreed with a lot of things that he said. He had a lot of opinions that I disagreed with. But
People say
I
it will irk me.
I am very, it's with a very heavy heart that I have to say that Uche has died, has passed away. And it's one of a series of deaths that's happened recently that are really fucked up. He was 38 years old.
To quote Salty, as climate change, racism's.
This was the died suddenly effect, isn't it? And we're gonna,
Oh, the DSE.
yeah, we're gonna look at a couple of them tonight.
We should popularize that acronym.
Yeah, I'm gonna refresh my
DSS.
drink, and this is
That's not
upsetting. This is actually quite upsetting to me. If you don't mind reading this article real quick, while because I did know Uche a little bit. I wasn't friends with him or anything, but I did know him. He's friends with people I'm friends with, and I did have a chance to speak with him. And even if I totally disagree with him on a whole bunch of shit that he said, and I'm gonna post up something when I come back on some of the shit that he said that I really disagree with, which is gonna. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to post one of his tweets. Uche was a cool guy though. In all my experiences with him, he was a cool guy. Would you mind reading this while I? Oh, fuck you, dude. I'll be right back. If you won't want to read this article, I got it all up here for you.
Who would you say fuck you to? Annie, get back here. Hey,
what?
Who'd you say fuck you to?
What?
You said fuck you just before you left.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Hang on.
Oh, I was confused.
Go ahead, read the article. I'll be right back.
It's Wes Lafayette. I don't know what IND stands for. Former NFL and Purdue University player Uche Nwaneri, it sounds African, has died at the age of 38. The Jacksonville Jaguars confirmed Monday. The Lafayette Journal and Curry reports Nwaneri died Friday after driving from George to West Lafayette and collapsing in his wife's home. The Tippecanoe County coroner said Monday's autopsy showed no signs of foul play, and preliminary results show enlarged heart and acute heart failure as the cause of death. Geez, what could possibly have caused that? The mind boggles. Toxicology results are Pending. If it was the Koof and the Pokey Poke, or the NOD as I like to call it, they're not gonna fucking tell you, by the way. So if the story goes silent, you can probably guess why. After his days at Purdue, Nawari was drafted in the 5th round by Jacksonville and started at the guards for the Jaguars from 2007 to 2013. Yeah, it's... for heaven's sakes. It sounds like roids. Yeah, that... I never even thought about that. It very well could be steroids, actually. Now that people are saying steroids, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually was steroids. Now that you guys mentioned it, because I know in the last 18 months, a load of bodybuilders died, like a lot, a fair fucking few of them, and it wasn't usually like diuretics. It wasn't like close to show or anything. It was like during prep. So, and it wasn't just 1 or 2. It was like a whole bunch, like more than 10. And when it's that kind of a number, yeah, people think, yeah, there's some sketchy shit going on. Because steroids is already not particularly good for your heart, and you combine it with some totally legitimate, 100% safe experimental medication for which we have no long-term data. It's totally fine, and you're not gonna die or lose your life or have horrible things happen to you, unforeseen events. That's not gonna... No, it will, because we can see it happen fucking over and over again. But yeah, like if it wasn't the vax was like the thing that kicked him over the edge. But if you tell me it was steroid abuse, yeah, the steroid abuse probably did the damage. And then the NOD was just, the kick over the edge. But yeah, I don't know. I don't follow the NFL, so I have no idea how prevalent steroids are in the NFL. I'm assuming those of you that watch the NFL will probably tell me it's quite rampant. All memeing aside. Because if I'm looking at that guy there, that guy on the right, that guy's arm does not look like someone who's on steroids. His fucking arm's no bigger than mine.
Okay, I'm back.
The chat
that's a rough story.
The chat gave an interesting hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
The chat said steroid abuse.
I mean, it's possible.
It wouldn't surprise
of course,
me
anything's
if,
possible.
It wouldn't surprise me if steroids did the damage, and then the Koof was just like the kick over the edge.
Right.
Because you won't know this, but in the last like 18 months, a lot of bodybuilders have died.
Yes, we covered some of them.
Way more than usual. I did a video.
This was his tweet from September of last year. Okay, so let's get or 2 years ago now, September 2021. Let's get these vaccine mandates and vaccine passports up and running ASAP. We've seen children die daily from the unvaccinated selfishness.
No, we don't.
Pregnant women at risk to protect life. Mandate the vaccine. Jail anyone who refuses to protect life. Uche, what the fuck was this opinion, dude?
See, this is the kind of thing that when they say it and when they die suddenly, I fail to really give a fuck.
He as far as I knew, seemed to be a good person, but like, what the fuck was this? You know what I mean?
They're scared and stupid.
Look at the ratio, by the way. I don't know when this picture was. I'm guessing. I don't know when this picture was taken. There's a fucking ratio on this for a reason, right? And we're gonna get to it. Athletes dying. What? The other one that has been in the news recently is, of course, Damar Hamlin. Very rare. The perfect storm. Cardiologist on NFL star Damar Hamlin's on-field collapse. Speculation has been swirling about what caused a young NFL player's sudden collapse during a game, with some even suggesting a COVID vaccine could be to blame. Sky's Mark Stone asks an expert. The tackle was innocuous.
I like the way that they say that, like some,
whoa,
even some suggesting when it's
even
not like
some.
over the overwhelming majority is fucking saying it's that. Like, how fucking dumb do you think we are?
The crazy thing about this is, as they say, the tackle was innocuous. He stood up straight after the impact, only to collapse seconds later. what happened to DeMar Hamlin. American football star and role model for millions remains in critical condition at a Cincinnati hospital. Buffalo Bills player, 24. He's 24 years old. Uche was 38. 24 years old, given CPR for 10 minutes. While we wait for the doctor treating him to give updates, the medical world is coalescing around the condition called commodio cordis. It's very rare to happen. It requires the perfect storm, Washington-based cardiologist Khalid Al-Jabri told me. It's a condition that can result in sudden cardiac death when a very high impact blunt blow to the chest in the front of the area of the heart occurs at the right moment, a very small window within the cardiac rhythmic cycle. Uh-huh. Sure. The beats of our hearts has a particular rhythm. Okay, so they're saying this is a 1 in a billion chance of this happening, right? Now,
so let me just take 1 in a billion chance.
In 50 years, this has happened. Like, people have died in games randomly from heart attacks. I think like once. This has almost never happened.
Yes. Whereas, have we seen?
And now it's happening all the time.
Have we seen a load of young people just mysteriously drop dead, healthy as fuck, in the last, I don't know, year or so? Yes. So I'm gonna say it's probably more likely to be that.
Oh, Actual Justice Warrior was getting pissed. People were even discussing why someone dies. He doesn't like people blaming it on the jab. I don't know if I'm blaming it, but I think that we have to look at this stuff, right? This is really highly unusual, right?
Yes, it's
extremely unusual.
It's totally this. It's totally not the.
I'm not saying it's totally one thing or the other, but this is extremely unusual.
Also, considering these people take punishment,
they take hits constantly,
and now it happens like, yeah,
right. One second.
No, I don't.
1 sec.
I don't fucking buy that for a damn second. Let's see the COOF vaccine theory. He's also dismissed the theory that the incident could be linked to a coronavirus vaccine. Of course, I wonder why he's dismissing it. Because he's been bought off by Pfizer. He has a Moderna tattooed on his scrotum.
And also, I understand why AJW might not want to discuss it, but unfortunately, it has to be discussed because this is something that's affecting a lot of people. The fact that young, healthy, top of I mean, Uche was retired. Still can't believe he died.
AJW is discussing this?
Apparently he doesn't, well, according to someone in the chat, I don't know. I haven't heard him say anything about that, but doesn't want people discussing that the vaccine potentiality related to all of these died suddenly things.
I wonder why.
I don't know why. AJW is a really cool guy. Sean's a great dude. He's very intelligent, and I don't think he buys bullshit, so I don't know why. I'm not sure.
I don't buy bullshit because I'm trained through birth as an African. We rely on facts, especially if you're white. To spot bullshit because we live in a country where we're fucking surrounded by it. So we've trained from a young age to spot the bollocks, and I can spot bollocks blindfolded 6 feet under, facing the ground, with the blindfold on in a coffin.
So here's this shit. COVID vaccine theory. The doctor dismissed a theory that the incident could be linked to the coronavirus vaccine.
Of course he did.
Now there are people talking about the possibility he had some kind of silent subclinical myocarditis that's associated with the COVID vaccine. Are you admitting that it's associated with the COVID vaccine now? Because you denied that for 2 years, but we now know that you can't deny that anymore. It is there are both clinical and subclinical diagnoses of myocarditis that are associated with the COVID-19 vaccine. That is unquestionable. Susan, you can't ban me for that. You can't ban me for that one. It's in every medical journal in the world at this point. There's no question about the relationship with myocarditis. That would be at the very bottom of my differential diagnosis. Hey, you know what? For a differential, you really need to have more than one person working on it. So saying implying it's only your differential, that's fucked because there can be no such thing as a one individual's differential diagnosis.
Should it be
yes, you can as an individual do a differential, but really you should have multiple people working on a differential. That's kind of like part of the meaning of the phraseology, but whatever. Mr. Al-Jabri added, "We have witnessed a direct blunt trauma to the chest, a witnessed loss of consciousness within seconds, a confirmed shock rhythm because he needed to be shocked with a defibrillator. All of that, hopefully, the absence of any existing structural disease. He will make the most likely diagnosis of commotio cordis a confirmed one. Hamlin's recovery will depend on the length of time his body was deprived of oxygenated blood. Doctors opted to treat him where he collapsed for 10 minutes before moving him. His heart was restarted in this period. A plea to learn CPR. So they're just like, oh, just learn CPR. Why do you think they want people to learn CPR now? Spin?
Because this might happen to other people randomly.
I think this is going to happen a lot more.
Just by the way,
maybe I don't know. Just a question. Just interesting. Why you say everyone should learn CPR? I do think it's a good thing to know. By the way, but still.
Yeah, I have. How much thing? I've watched rugby since I was 6 years old.
Have you ever? I don't watch sports. Have you ever seen shit like this in all of your life?
No, that's where I was gonna go with that. I've watched rugby since I was like 4 or 5 years old. So about since 1995.
So 25 years, yeah.
Yes. I have never seen, and also rugby players, I'm gonna piss off a bunch of Americans. Rugby players are harder and stronger men than your fucking NFL players, and you can fucking fight me on that. And they hit harder than your pussy roided up faggots. Sorry.
Well, something too. Also, that Neon Suspenders brings up.
I've never seen rugby players keel over on the pitch ever.
No, and something that Neon Suspenders brings up is that his career's over now. I've even seen other people say it. Like he'll probably never be able to play again. He's 24. He's 24, and his professional career is probably over because his heart's probably seriously damaged. He nearly died. He's so lucky to be alive.
Yeah,
and thank God he is. Here we have from Salon, Damar Hamlin's collapse prompts right-wing anti-vax conspiracy theory.
How the fucking hell did we make this political? There's nothing with politics. We literally just saw
it's about health
to a whole bunch of people, and then we go, there might be
we
something
see people
wrong with this.
Just fucking dying. I'm sorry. This guy, he's a football player. He gets hit in the chest all the time. It's kind of part of the game. They also get hit in the head all of the time. Kind of part of the game.
Yeah, rugby players as well.
That's what I mean. Like, these are extreme contact sports. We're talking about the professional level for football, or I don't know much about rugby. I don't know anything about any sport ball, to be honest, but like...
Yeah, we should really get you into one.
No, I don't. I like baseball. That's the one that I like. That's sport I like.
No, contact sport. You need to watch rugby.
It's not a contact sport. I like baseball.
That's what I'm saying. You need to watch a contact sport.
I want to, go eat my Cracker Jacks or whatever. I like baseball.
You can drink and watch rugby.
Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever come back because it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame.
Rugby, much.
There's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Sorry, I got distracted.
Rugby, must watch.
Baseball.
Rugby.
Baseball is fun. I like baseball.
Rugby.
I like baseball.
But rugby.
I don't care about man grab.
But rugby is really good.
It's man grab. Anyway,
no,
we're talking about hand egg right now.
The passing of the rugby ball when it's just one play.
Yes, and right now we're talking about hand egg
is fucking great.
And right now we're talking about players of hand egg, the game where you hold the egg in your hand.
If you don't say rugby is good, I will literally overlap your video with one of my own.
Here we go again. Okay, people are dead or in serious conditions, so let's be a little bit less stupid. Which is the best Major League movie out of the 3? I don't know if I've ever seen Is it a series of movies? I've never seen those. I've seen Moneyball.
Rugby.
Okay. Hamlin, a 24-year-old safety. I can't believe he's 24. Oh my God, he's just a kid. Suffered a cardiac arrest. Why are we talking about cardiac arrest in a 24-year-old? Who is it? Like, should a peak of athletic performance? That's insane. Suffered a cardiac arrest and collapsed on the field after a scary hit to his chest. Okay, thank you, Salon. Players surrounded Hamlin as he received CPR for about 9 minutes. So their article says 10. After being taken off the field in an ambulance, the game was postponed and Hamlin was taken to the hospital. There was some sports commentator, by the way, who said something like, yeah, I know this is a problem, but they shouldn't have suspended the game. And that guy had one of the worst ratios I've ever seen on Twitter. Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit by in the Buffalo Bills game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, it was against the Bengals? Ooh. Ooh, they suck. Yikes. His heart was restored on the field, and he was transferred to the University of Cincy Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He is currently sedated, and listed as in critical condition, the Bills said in the statement on Tuesday. The scary moment. The Salon article sounds like it was written by a fucking 6th grader.
Oh, it's a Salon article?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking no wonder it sounds like it was written by a fucking 6th
I know
grader.
it sounds like it's written by a teenager. The scary moment led to an outpouring. Like, what the fuck is up with your vocabulary? An outpouring of support and prayers for the young second-year player, only second year. An online toy drive fundraiser launched by Hamlin quickly raised more than $3 million in donations in the hours after his collapse. Let's look into that for a moment, shall we?
Go on.
Let's go over here. Oh, okay. So this so Salon just links to a CNN article. I wasn't sure what their link went to, but I'll link you to the actual issue with the
Jeez, that's
fundraiser.
a fucking bullet.
Yeah. So here's the GoFundMe. Chasing M's Foundation Community Toy Drive. Now, as you can see, this is nearly $7 million. Before he collapsed, it was at about, I think, like 20,000. So what's important here is that there was an update to this. Okay?
All right.
Originally, it was just going to be to give toys to children. Update. This fundraiser was initially established to support a toy drive for Damar's community, sponsored by the Chasing M Foundation. However, it has received a renewed support in light of Damar's current battle, and we can't thank you all enough. Your generosity and compassion means the world to us. As representatives of Damar, the team at Jaster Athletes posted the fundraiser updates and will work with the Hamlin family, the Chasing M Foundation, and the GoFundMe team to ensure the safe delivery of funds. Damar created the Chasing M Foundation to use as a vehicle to bring lasting impact to his community. The foundation supports toy drives, back-to-school drives, kids camps, and more. We are hopeful about Damar's future involvement in dispersing the incredibly generous contributions. This is the only current fund that is being used by the Hamlin family. We appreciate your understanding as we give them the time and space they need to focus on Damar's health. Again, thank you for your thoughts and prayers. Okay. The reality is, they're going to give this money to him and say it's for his... It certainly sounds like this. We appreciate your understanding. We give it. It really... They've changed... Look at this motherfucker, Jim Irsay. And the Indianapolis Colts gave $25,000. They have changed the wording of this fundraiser to now imply it can be used for his medical costs, which means it's going to go to him, probably. By the way, I don't think this guy set this up for that reason. I think his family sure would like to take $6.7 million. You know what I mean?
You think his family will just jack him?
I think his family think he might die, and they're constantly updating the GoFundMe to make it sound like, oh, we need money for his medical treatment. Well, it's not just going to be. Yeah, but he's an NFL player.
Okay.
So he already makes millions. Maybe he will, but I don't know. I'm really, really skeptical. You could watch Recada's stream for his analysis of this, where he also seemed to think that this is a very sketchy bunch of updates to this, right as it goes from like $20,000 up to nearly $7 million, right? Basically overnight. And all of a sudden they start changing it up, being like, oh, but it's for his family and him. Also, and for the kids.
Holy shit.
Is it? What?
No, because you were talking about rugby.
Okay.
And this is the video that I have on. Just no one else will appreciate this but me, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
Because I can't share. Yeah, because it's just I don't want to get sport nerdy here on everyone, but it's a passing video, and just okay. This is why the rugby is the shit. Mm-hmm. You have to be strong, fast, agile, and enduring. I don't know any sport where you have to be all four. Which is why they're the best. They're the most complete athletes in the world, and fuck anyone who disagrees with me.
Oh my
You're wrong.
god, man, talking about his man grab.
No, it just to see the athleticism
I'm just
from
fucking
someone
with you, dude.
who's like 105 kilos, and it's like fuck, it's great hands, just well
I don't
done.
understand what that is in real numbers.
What 105 kg?
105 kilos. I don't know what that is in real numbers.
Like, it's 225 in your made up bullshit English measurement system.
You live close enough to England?
You live in England. What the fuck are you talking about? Who the hold on a sec? Was that fucking Zach?
I don't live in England. What the fuck are you talking about?
You live closer.
Neither. You live close. Which one of us actually lives closer physically to England?
You.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
How far is Ireland? Oh,
An hour?
wait. It's an hour from us by plane.
Yeah.
It's an hour from here to England.
Yeah, okay. 50-50 then. So
yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, sorry. I saw someone here and I'm confused. Is that Zach Guilford? I haven't seen Zach Guilford in fucking ages.
Anywho, I don't trust this GoFundMe. I don't think it's Jamar is not doing any of this shit. Okay, it's not his fault. He's unconscious. So this just seems kind of sketch to me, right? It's obviously not Damar's fault. I don't know who's making the updates to the GoFundMe. I find it a little bit sketch though. And look, I did see people in the chat say that like, yeah, as a second-year player, he probably is making like 200 grand a year, so he might actually need the money. But I would think that you also have kind of like the best healthcare on earth if you're playing for a sports team, considering that injury is, kind of part of the gig. It's expected. So I would think that he'd have great health insurance, right?
Yeah, of course he would.
So
what the fuck, Davey?
Look, if people really did raise 6.7 million, it's gonna over 7 million at this point, I would imagine. $7 million.
Someone in the chat says they want to drown me in the Boston Harbor. I'm terribly sorry I said your sports are worse and ours is better. That's because it is.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Anywho,
Don't you fucking sass me.
If people do think that because now there's a question of confusion over what people are donating to. Because some people probably think that they're donating to Damar, and some people are probably thinking that they're donating for a kid's toy fund. To give $7 million to give impoverished children toys for Christmas, or I mean, it's late now, but whatever. I mean, it depends on toys, I guess. That's amazing. That's great. Yeah. But I hope that people aren't being misled or confused, and I certainly hope that the money isn't being fleeced. I hope they're not being fleeced, and the money isn't going to end up going to this guy who certainly is having his healthcare needs. Now, again, as was said, yeah, $200,000 a year, that's a lot of money. But depending, I mean, he's probably never going to play again, which means his career is probably over, and we're talking millions lost in income, right? If I don't know anything about football. I'm assuming he was he's a brand new player. So who knows where his career could have gone. But it's probably going to be really difficult for him to get back after a fucking cardiac arrest, It's going to be a long, long road to recovery for this young man. He's only 24. I can't believe it. It's absolutely tragic. But of course, like I said, the Salon article, they're mad that people are saying maybe this is fact-related. Well, we know myocarditis. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is completely accepted that myocarditis is a side effect of the vaccine, and it's particularly prominent in who, Spoon? What group of people? Young men. Damar is a young man.
And like 18 to 35.
Yup.
Pure bloods unite, people.
I don't know. I'm not buying this. I'm just skeptical, put it that way, of this. Hit to the chest caused just at the right second caused his heart to disrupt. When these people take headbutts all day, every day.
Yep.
I'm just a little bit. That doesn't ring very true to me. Hang on, I'm gonna finish my cigarette. We'll move on. What?
Hold on, I'm a mouthful of food.
What are you eating?
Pasta.
Pasta. I'm gonna make some pasta. I can't find any shells at the little store up the street, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere to find pasta shells because I want to make stuffed shells. Hang on.
Give me a second.
This is some severe dead air because I'm smoking and you're eating.
Yeah,
All right, let me
sure.
put out my cigarette. All right, sorry guys. I put out my cigarette so there's no more dead air. We'll move on. I thought I could rely on the spoon, but I couldn't rely on my trusty utensil to back me for a minute. I see how it is. He's too busy eating pasta.
And you can give up the fags.
No, I can't. Yeah, you're allowed to say that because of your accent. You're allowed to say that, right?
What, fags?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
because like it's slang. It's slang for cigarettes.
It is slang. Okay. So he's not the only one, of course. So I'm just saying, salons are real mad about it. They can keep being mad. Doctor bombarded by threats from anti-vaxxers during pandemic dies suddenly. I don't think this is
Sorry.
funny.
I'm sorry, but the headline, it's just, come on.
Dr. Wilson Chin, who was subjected to death threats from anti-vaxxers during the pandemic, passed away shortly before Christmas. A British-trained Hong Kong-born doctor who emigrated to Australia in 2018 passed away shortly before Christmas. Dr. Chin was popular with patients and colleagues at the Pacific Pines Med Centers and known in his local community for walking his dog Splash. He made headlines in January this year when he tried to warn people of a false rumor being spread on social media that claimed 2 girls had fainted and died after treatment at Pacific Pines Med Center. Dr. Chin was known in his local community, blah, blah, blah. It was claimed that both girls collapsed and began screaming, but Dr. Chin confirmed to 9 News at the time it was simply a fainting episode, unrelated to the vaccine.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Dr. Chin took to Facebook writing, I have been in touch with the parents every day since the children fainted, even before the news channel approached me. I can confirm they are doing very well. I'd like to ask everyone to respect their privacy, please. Is it usual for young girls to just faint, though?
No.
When did this happen in the past? Why is this happening now?
I mean, I fainted a couple of days ago.
You did? Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And you... Oh, okay. So maybe fainting is just normal.
Yeah, but I knew why. And also, I didn't take the...
Didn't you, like, not eat or something?
That's not why. I know why, because it's not the first time that particular episode made me faint. I'm just fucking lucky because I have a barbell right behind me, and my head, like, just missed the fucking barbell.
Please don't crack your head on a barbell, my dude.
I've already been hit in the head by a weight.
Oh, that explains some things.
Fuck you.
Just kidding. Anyway, so
yeah, but yeah, I did.
Well,
I did do like a pullover, and the bar slipped off the fucking dumbbell and just whacked me right in the head. That's fun. I just I fell over and I could just see like, there's a period where cause there's a big rubber mat right behind me, and if I just look at it in the light, it's like just like a huge massive stain of blood all over the thing. It's a good time.
No Pants Baby says Spoon passed out from seeing his reflection.
And then there's a massive...
Had a case of the vapors.
There's a massive blood coming out of my forehead. And then I had to go to
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a massive head wound.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was laying there like, I'm really hungry.
Yeah, bruh.
What?
You get mad at me for not eating.
Listen
Holy
here.
shit.
Listen here, okay?
Uh-huh.
The fact that I was thinking that has nothing to do with the head wound. It's just that when I was laying there with a fucking ice pack and fucking towel on my forehead, I was just laying there thinking, I'm fucking hungry. I could eat some peanuts right now. Because it's not the first time I've gotten a head wound, and it probably won't be the last time either. So I'm used to fucking massive amounts of blood squirting from me. I cut my finger a while ago. I ended up in an emergency room as well.
Did you like cut your tip of your finger off or some shit? Are you talking about that?
Yeah. I used one of those vegetable slices and just like cut the...
I'll tell you some shit. I don't use mandolins. Look, mandolins are awesome. I don't use them anymore because I would say like one time out of about 20 that I would use a mandolin slicer, I would cut myself. So I hate mandolin slicers. They give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't use mandolins anymore. Fuck mandolins. Not the instrument. The instrument for cooking. The instrument for music is fine. But just related, or maybe unrelated, I don't know. Cher is mad.
I can't be John Fetterman, Fox.
Oh, what happened?
I don't have
Here we go.
I don't have some.
Great picture, by the way. Holy crap. Chair lashes out at anti-vaxxers, blames them for her major, quote, major bitch case of flu. Cher has lashed out at anti-vaxxers on
I was
Twitter,
in the
admitting
middle
she
of a sentence
hesitated.
and you just showed me that picture. It's fucking just took my breath away.
Now you're scared. Yeah, no,
Yes.
don't pass out again.
Oh, I'm not that bad.
Unleashing a furious tweet.
I
when
wish
she
I could
questioned,
pass out. I don't want to fucking see that face.
WTF is wrong with these people? Cher demanded that those who have information regarding the negative consequences of flu and COVID-19 vaccinations keep that information to themselves. Oh, does it hurt your feelings?
By the way, I said the statement
If you
before.
don't want the vaccination, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I said the statement before when I saw this, that there is one good thing about the vaccine, is that it did show us how fucking stupid celebrities really are.
Oh, well,
Celebrities are
we knew that,
really
right?
Dumb fucking people.
We knew that. But yeah, so...
I know, but like seeing them vocalize, like, wow, you people are really,
Yeah.
like, just because you have a camera in front of your face, like, you're just regular people with really, really fucking stupid opinions.
Yeah, people were telling you, you're 76 years old.
Yeah.
Stop blaming other people for your bullshit.
Yes.
Vaccine maximalist. This is News Punch. They've got an agenda, okay. But still...
And yeah, so do the people in that fucking photo.
Absolutely. I feel so fortunate to be able to do my part to ensure access for children and families in New York City, my second home, by going directly to the community in hopes it will encourage New Yorkers to come on board and keep themselves and their neighbors safe, Cher said in a statement last year. Dr. Redlener and I are grateful to partner with the city and Mayor de Blasio to provide this service at no cost to anyone and reach as many people as possible. I think there might be a cost. I think there might be a cost.
Yeah.
Do you think there might be a cost, Spin? To this?
Well, I don't. If there's no cost, how the hell did Big Pharma make $60 billion in profits
Weird.
in 2 years?
Weird. The government just paid for all of it, huh?
Oh yeah, but the government doesn't. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Let me show you a poll. It seems that this isn't just isolated.
Wait a minute. The government paid for it. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
If the wait a minute. They used taxpayer money to pay for something,
Yeah,
and then
so you did pay
Big
for it,
Pharma made
asshole.
$60 billion from the taxpayers' dime.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do people know about this? I'd be pretty pissed about this.
Do you believe in life after jab? Do.
God, there's
I
so
can
many-
feel
there's-
something inside me saying, I really don't think I'm strong enough. No. I'm sure you can feel something inside you saying, really don't think you're strong enough, huh, Cher?
God, you could make a whole fucking meme out of that.
You really could. Died suddenly. More than 1 in 4 think someone they know died from the COVID-19 vaccines. This is from Rasmussen, excuse me, it's just Mutin. Rasmussen, please, Susan. This is from Rasmussen, one of the largest data polling institutions in the country. Latest Rasmussen reports national telephone and online survey finds that 49% of American adults believe it is likely that a side effect of COVID-19 vaccines have caused a significant number of unexplained deaths. Well, if you look at VAERS, it's not incorrect, including 28% who think it is very likely.
Just out of curiosity,
37%.
why is it when everybody drops, the first thing people ask is, were they vaccinated?
Why do you think that is?
Why do you think that is? Yeah.
It's because there seems to be correlative evidence, okay?
Yeah. And when people go, oh, he wasn't vaccinated, oh, then some real shit happened to him. That's then the first go-to.
Or they keep saying, don't pay attention to it. Don't ask those questions. Stop asking these questions when the person is vaccinated.
And if you notice the people who are
When they're not vaccinated, when non-vaccinated people die from random shit, they go, well, that's because they weren't vaccinated. There's no problem the other way around, of course. We see this, right?
Have you noticed
there is
that
no problem
one,
the other way around?
No one who is unvaccinated regrets not being vaccinated?
I
wonder why that is.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, when someone who's unvaxxed dies, every news headline is about how they died of COVID.
You're still pure-blooded, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. You remember that shit? Like, there was shit like a year or two ago where it's like, mother on ventilator, in her last words, wishes she had been vaccinated. They publish that shit all over the place. They want to cover all this stuff up. And as that Salon article showed, if you even question, was he vaccinated? How dare you ask that question? You said for 2 years, whenever somebody died, that they wished in their final moments they had gotten vaxxed.
Yes.
No matter what they died from. You publish articles like that all the goddamn time. So don't tell me about propaganda. Okay.
I died from a ruptured asshole, but I was thankful to be vaccinated.
Right. 28% of adults say they personally know someone whose death they think might have been caused by side effects of the COVID-19 vaccines, while 61% don't, and another 10% aren't sure. It's nearly a third. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 1 in 4, but it's approaching a third if you count that 10% in who aren't sure. Right? Nagoalk, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, says, I have no regrets, just wrath. I don't like being lied to, and even angry, and even more angry about the innocent people who died. Yeah, that's what my next video is about. My next video, which I'm going to read over my script today with Bill a little bit to really hammer it in, make clear what my point is. Because Bill said in the script that it sounded a little bit disjointed. Not that it was, I don't think it was disjointed. I think it was that I don't like to make it clear what my position is on things. I just want to like report on data. But sometimes when things are this fucked, I think I probably should explain what my position is and to really tie the data together so they don't just seem like, hey, I'm just reading you a random study and expecting you to connect the dots, which I think people are able to do. Like part of me thinks like, I just want people to be able to connect the dots for themselves. So I'll just read the data out to them and they can figure out what's happening here. But maybe I do need to be a little bit more clear. And that's what I'm trying to do as I get ready to record the new video tomorrow. Anywho, a survey of 1,000 American adults was conducted in late December 2022 by Rasmussen. The margin of error in the sampling is ±3. Ooh, well within. Very nice. Under 5. Great. 95% confidence level. Yes. Great. Excellent work. Okay, this means like you can't question this study. I mean, you can question it, but that's very, very good. 95% confidence interval is required. I wish that they probably with a ±3, you really should be able to go to 97% confidence interval, but whatever. I think you could go higher than 95. When you have that margin of error, then whatever. You could probably try to actually head up to higher than 95% CI. Whatever. Sorry, I get distracted by. Spoon. You don't understand how much I want to click on this link right now.
I don't.
I want to click on this methodology link. Sorry, no. It's fine. I'll read that later. Actually.
See, when Aiden goes full spaghetti mode,
Sorry,
I don't know.
I'm out. I'm done. I'm not doing it live. No, I won't do it live. 71%
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
received a COVID-19 vaccination. 26% said they have not. Concerns about vaccine safety are much higher among the unvaccinated.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I don't know how long that's going to be the case.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. You should know where that's from.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll do it live.
There we go.
Jarnegi for 5 says, my only regret for not getting that jab is not attending events that require that crap. I'm saving money on travel costs, so that is a bright side. Yeah, but and I agree with you, Jarnegi, but a lot of people couldn't see their own family members for years. Some of them died while they weren't able to see them. People did horrible things. It's what my new video is about. The horrible, horrible things that happened under this regime. And they're still lying about it, but they can only barely lie about it anymore. The information is becoming too salient. And we're going to have to deal with it. This is a thalidomide level situation.
Yes.
It's way worse than thalidomide, though, in terms of the number of people who have been affected.
You cannot hide from the truth forever. It
Yep.
will come back to haunt you.
77% of adults who had not gotten the COVID-19 vaccinations believe it's at least somewhat likely that the side effects of the vaccines have caused a significant number of unexplained deaths. Among those who have gotten the vaccine, just 38%. That's not a just 38.
Fucking high.
That's 1 in 3.
What? That's fucking.
That's nearly 1 in 3 people. Nearly 1 in 3 people think that when someone dies suddenly, it's because of the vaccine. Of those who are vaccinated, don't put a just before this as a disclaimer, Rasmussen. I know that you're trying to be fair, but that's not a 38%. Is not a just. That's a pretty significant fucking percentage. At least somewhat likely. Similarly, about 45% of those who have, that's at least somewhat likely, which means some of them consider it very likely. 45% of those who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19 think someone they know personally might have died from vaccine side effects, while only 22%, that's 1 in 5.
That's not quite high.
Of vaccinated people think so too. which is again the headline, 1 in 4, but 1 in 5 of vaccinated people think someone they know died as a result of the vaccine. 1 in 5 of vaccinated people think someone they know died as a result of the vaccine. Don't put this only in front of it. I know that it's a smaller number.
That's not exactly a glowing endorsement of the thing, is it?
Yeah. 38% is more than 1 in 3. It's comparable, right? 33% would be 1 in 3. But so it's more than 1 in 3, but with 33% repeating, of course. God, that was a meme. I can't help myself but accidentally drop a fucking reference. 33% repeating, of course. 46% of adults who have gotten vaccinated against COVID-19 believe people who worry about vaccine safety are spreading conspiracy theories, but just 15% of the unvaccinated share that belief.
Yeah, you're always going to have your lemmings in the machine.
Yeah, well, but again, it's less than half. It's less than half who think people are sharing that information. I'm saying, with what we know about cognitive dissonance, that's an astonishingly low number. People who are vaccinated are aware of this. That's an astonishing low number for what we're talking about. Okay. These numbers were not like this a year ago.
No, of course not.
These are very bleak numbers. For those who made this shit. It goes into the racial stuff. We'll probably, of course, Democrats are more in favor of it. You can go through the rest of the data from Rasmussen.
The Democrats are in favor of more government control. I'm fucking sure.
Yeah. But, again, gets worse. Always gets worse, doesn't it? Dr. Zeke Emanuel, who was one of the people who behind Obamacare, by the way, one of the lead doctors behind Obamacare, says the vaccines don't work against new variants. Travel bans and testing are delaying tactics, and the only thing that works reliably are really high-quality masks. Let's listen.
No, they don't.
1.5. It's spreading very rapidly, which means it can evade and outcompete the other subvariants. It seems to avoid the antibodies, but also bind more tightly to cells, and that gives it the competitive advantage it needs. And unfortunately, the antibodies, therefore, we have from infection or vaccines don't seem to work. And the monoclonal antibody, Evusheld, we have that a lot of immunocompromised patients don't use, doesn't seem to be working that well. So it is a great concern. And the fact that it's spreading at this moment when people have been traveling, and therefore we're going to see another surge going forward. We can be pretty confident of that.
So, remember we were told at the beginning that these vaccines would prevent transmission. They prevent you from getting sick. That's all been walked back. Now they're just saying it doesn't even work at all. Wear a mask again.
Even though they admitted that doesn't work either.
They've admitted that doesn't work either, but
the White House fucking health secretary said this.
Says it doesn't work. Well, now they're saying really high quality masks. But let's continue.
What the fuck is a really high quality mask? One that's been invented by
N95. N95. Yeah, the government one, I guess. Yeah. One that the government sells you, right?
Yeah.
One that the government taxes you for.
Who's the main manufacturer of N95s? Who's the main manufacturer of N95s?
I don't know.
Which country?
Who? Oh, China?
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, not surprised.
I wonder if that may be influential in the decision. I don't know about you, Aiden, but I have no faith in science after the last 3 years of life.
This isn't science. This is not science. This is all scientism. This is a religion.
Yes, but this is what these people purport to be the science. And when Fauci says, I am the science, I can safely say Fauci can fuck off.
There's no way I can fully explicate how much that quote made me absolutely
fucking
furious. Yes, livid is the correct word.
You're welcome.
As somebody who actually cares a lot about I really care about the value the scientific method is as a tool. I think it's one of the greatest tools that humans have developed. And for this man, and for all these people to treat it like a religion, and not as a tool, it's just sickening to me. Good night, anti-white. Hey, thank you, man. It gives us $2 in New Zealand. Thank you, man. We'll get into the Australia stuff in just a moment here, by the way.
Okay.
Not New Zealand, but yeah, it's bad over there.
Because when he
Take
said,
care, man.
Be safe. When people said, "Oh, we should trust the science," like motherfucker, that is literally the opposite of how science works. You don't trust shit. You trust data. So when someone says, "Hey, we should trust an institution funded by the state," Fuck no.
Science is just a tool of understand
To understand the world around you.
To understand the world around you.
Yes.
They have turned it into a religion, and it makes me sick.
Oh.
So, is this typical, that the variants keep coming, and as infections spread, this virus finds new ways to conquer our best efforts?
Yes, we do see when the virus spreads to lots more people that you get more variants, because the more it reproduces, the higher the chance of a mutation or a recombination event. And that's actually what's really concerning about China. They will have a lot of deaths.
With their zero COVID policy? We'll talk about that in a second here.
But also that with hundreds of millions of people getting infected, likely over the next few weeks, they're going to have a lot more variants.
Also, let me tell you something, Spoon. I know I've talked about it here on the stream before, but just to reiterate, any of us who know anything about virology, and I'm not a virologist, I'm a social scientist, which is the lowest form of scientist. The dumbest form. The clown version of scientist. And I could have told you, and did tell people 2 years ago, that when you do this shit, you are providing ample opportunity. In fact, you are forcing any kind of virus into a mutational stage because it wants to survive. When you do these lockdowns, when you prevent people from just all getting it and getting over it, it causes and forces the virus to mutate. Particularly when you have a lab-developed virus, which is also something I'm allowed to say now, I think. Because that was confirmed a year and a half ago, but whatever. We're still like, oh, I don't know. Okay. When you force the virus into a state of evolutionary necessity to evolve and change and become more virulent. This isn't complicated. This is basic fucking biology. Basic shit that myself as a stupid fucking social scientist can understand. And the fact that they are lying to people and be like, well, we don't know why it's happening. Yes, I know why the fuck it's happening, because you forced it to evolve. Idiots. You idiot woman. Idiot woman. Sorry, that's like an old, it's another meme. Like some old sports guy. Like, you idiot woman. It's not even a woman, but might as well be.
And we don't have a good line of sight into those variants and the genomes. And that is what's worrisome to other countries about the China situation.
What measures do you think we should be taking against China? Travel ban, a negative test result?
Too racist.
What is an effective
You're right.
way?
A travel ban isn't going to, and the negative test results are just they're delaying tactics.
Okay, so no more test results, no more travel bans. Good. By the way, I didn't have this in my show notes for tonight, but the United States was supposed to end their international travel ban, I think on the 1st of this year. They've now pushed that back to March. So, like, again, when I went to the wedding and all the stuff in, was it November or October? No? Oh, November. And when I was in the U.S. in November, right? Bill couldn't come because non-U.S. citizens were not allowed to enter the country, right? That was supposed to end in January. They've now pushed it back another 3 months. Fucking A.
They're trying to get us information. They're not going to help. Individually, for your viewers, Andrea, the best thing they can do at the moment, and I know a lot of them are resistant, is masks. N95, really high.
Which we know don't
work.
Fucking work. And N95 masks have better efficacy than the cloth masks. But for we're going on 3 goddamn years of knowing the cloth masks do nothing. They, in fact, if you don't recall, for a while told people not to get N95s. They told people not to get N95s because the government wanted them and to prioritize themselves. Well, now that they've got their N95s, well, let's sell them to regular people. You buy them now. Yeah, get your new Balenciaga N95 mask and snow pants, baby. Also, 1776 for $10. Hey, thank you, man. Says, had to create an exemption for my university job because they were, quote, just following orders. Yeah, how'd that work out in Nuremberg? Again, I'm sorry, my new video is about this, so it's very prescient in my mind. I kept my job for now and can change anytime. I'm furious already, and hearing this makes me sick. It does me too. 1776. And I see you put a tree and a blood drop, and that is in fact true, that sometimes the tree of liberty needs a little bit of watering, doesn't it?
Yeah. Red watering.
Not saying anything. Don't know what you meant by that.
quality
blood.
masks. You can't control what's out there in the airports or what's on a train or what's going.
You'll never be able to control that. It's called life.
Yeah.
But let's see what the people really fucking want. It's not about Nuremberg. Nuremberg, the first part of the video is about Nuremberg a little bit. About Truth and Reconciliation Committees and Nuremberg, yes. But you can never control people unless you do control them, which is what this ultimately is all about, isn't it? It's about depopulation, and it's about controlling people's lives down to every single microscopic iota, isn't it? I'm going to get that just right now, right after this.
Going to be in a shopping mall, but you can protect yourself with these very high quality masks, and that's what I recommend. This new variant XBB 1.5 is very infectious, and people.
They're not giving them names anymore, right? It's not Omicron or whatever. Cute, isn't it?
To do what they can do. Regarding China, I think this is more a moment for collaboration. We've got to get Xi to immunize the population, to slow things down there, and to monitor carefully and share the.
But you just said at the start of this video that the fucking vaccine doesn't work. So what? Why are you saying we have to immunize the population when the first goddamn thing you said in this interview, Dr. Emmanuel, was that the vaccine doesn't work against this new variant? Then why are you talking about immunization if you've just said the immunization does not factor? Complete nonsense.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Data on the genomics with the world, instead of constantly denying, everything's under control. There aren't a lot of cases, because that doesn't seem to be the facts.
Okay, well, you don't know the fucking facts. That really pissed me off. I didn't listen to that whole thing before. Okay. So, this might work here. If it doesn't, because Wall Street Journal might kick me out. It does.
Are vaccines fueling the new
It's
COVID
okay.
variants? Ooh.
Yep, it's all right. Fuck the Wall Street Journal. It's here on the Gateway Pundit. They say WAPO, but they mean WSJ. Whoops, little typo there. Such rapid and simultaneous emergence of multiple variants and enormous growth advantages is unprecedented. December 19th study in the Journal of Nature notes, under selective evolutionary pressures, the virus appears to have developed mutations that enabled it to transmit more easily and escape antibodies elicited by vaccine and prior infection. That thing I just said, that, as I believe Neon Suspenders said in our chat, is high school level biology. You don't need to have a PhD. You don't need to have an MD to understand this. This is taught in high school level biology. You force the virus into evolutionary conditions.
Yeah. It's
I sometimes, at some point, I have to ask, on purpose?
It's like you're forcing him to fight.
You're forcing it to evolve to get past your bullshit. That's how somehow life finds a way. Did you watch Jurassic Park, idiot? Come on.
Yeah. Okay, look, we can keep making vaccines, which will keep weakening people's immune system, and then we make boosters to keep them updated constantly, and we end up making a whole lot of money. Otherwise, people will die. It's almost like it's a scam.
Yeah. Mana Yuchusai for $5 says, I lost my job because my job was seen as non-essential. Then I found another job, but was fired from that job because I refused the jab. F amnesty. I'm right there with you, brother. I didn't have to go through that shit because I'm very lucky to have the job that I have doing this shit. But
for guillotines.
But it's time to raise the boards. I just can't take this anymore. Yeah, okay. That's kind of, again, my new video. I am so sorry, Mana. It's not just you, though. That's the thing, I guess, to take some solace in. It's not you. It's tens of thousands of people who were treated like absolute dog shit. And now they're asking, they're right back to this shit. They're not even asking for forgiveness. Oh, excuse me. They're asking for amnesty, but they're not saying they're sorry. And they'll never say they're sorry, because saying you're sorry means admitting you were wrong.
Yeah, they have no interest in that.
A true mea culpa means in Alex Talvchish's excuse me, in Alex Talvchish's book, Mea Culpa, he says that a true apology, a true mea culpa, is the stripping naked of the self, to prostrate the self in front of the group that you have wronged or the person that you have wronged publicly. They will never do that.
Cringe.
But you know what I mean? A metaphorical stripping naked. And they're never going to do that. They will never, ever, ever admit they were wrong. And if they don't apologize, I see no reason to forgive them. And that's what my video is about. You can't. I'm a big kind of cucky person in that. I'm very forgiving. But
yeah,
this.
I've noticed that.
Have you noticed that? That I'm a big cuck and I'll forgive everybody?
Yes. And you're like,
Not for this.
I must get.
Not for this.
I must get along with everyone and everyone be nice.
I try to be nice to everybody.
And I'm your opposite. I'm like, yeah, this is how I am, and fuck off. You don't like being a dick.
I know, but that's why we make a good team, right? Rob Walker for 5 says, that doctor has clearly had too many shots. I wouldn't specify what kind of shots. They could be medicine. They could be for cooking, right? For cooking, right?
You're
Just
like
like
you're like a puffy marshmallow.
Me?
Yes.
I'm like a puffy marshmallow.
In the sense that everyone likes you.
Not really. A lot of people hate me, dude.
Yeah, but those people are losers. Or bots on Twitter.
Well, thank you.
No fucking care. Whereas I'm more like a hot rod. After it's been turned on, it's like, yeah, touch it with caution. It might kick. That's pretty much me.
I'm.
It's useful for branding, though.
Okay, so I didn't know this actually. Bill told me about this. Do you know what the actual origin of turn the other cheek is? Because Christ said, of course, to turn the other cheek. Do you actually know what that meant in context? Because I didn't know this till today.
Turn the other cheek. I always thought it meant karma.
I always thought it meant to kind of just let yourself just get over. Don't let the small shit bother you. Don't let other people's nonsense bother you when they hurt you. You know, just forget it.
I thought it meant like smack the other cheek if you get hit.
No. When Jesus said it, he meant when you get slapped, give them the other cheek for you to slap. That's what it meant. I mean, that is literally what it meant. But I didn't understand the context until Bill told me about it. Alex Karras is correct. It's about the backhand. So in Roman culture, right, when they were to backhand somebody, right, with the back of your hand, was something that was reserved for slaves and for out groups, for Jews, for non-Romans, right? Because you slap them with the back of your hand, which would be because most Romans are right-handed. So slap it with the back of the hand. That would be slapping on the right-hand side, right?
Right.
The right-hand side of their face. To turn the other cheek, when you slap someone who is your equal, you would slap them with your right hand directly with the palm. So slapping on the left-hand side of the face. So to turn the other cheek means to slap me as an equal. I force you to treat me as an equal.
Oh.
Right?
So if I smack you in the face, I have to do it open-handed.
If you treat me as an equal, you would slap me with your open palm. If you treat me as a slave or someone lesser, you would slap me with your back hand.
If every time I think back of a hand, I just think like a butler.
Pimp slap. but that's actually, I had always misunderstood that quote from Jesus. I'd always misunderstood it because I thought he was like, I'll just take it. I'll take more punishment. But no, what he meant is when you slap me twice, you now treat me as your equal. Right? I am not a slave. I'm not lesser than you.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting, right?
I feel like if I got slapped by a Roman, I probably would be his lesser.
Yeah. I think if that is what Christ meant by that, I think that's really interesting. And I think it probably was under the context. It's not about retaliating. Yes, it's true, but it's not about retaliating, but it's also about forcing that person to be on your same level. I think it's both. I think there's probably a double-sided meaning to that that message of Christ. Anywho, getting back to this. So, same study, such rapid, we went into that part. The same study posits that immune imprinting may be contributing to the viral evolution. Vaccines do a good job of training the immune system to remember and knock out the original Wuhan variant. But when new and markedly different strains come along, the immune system responds less effectively. Yeah, do you know why? Because flu vaccines are not permanent and never have been because this shit evolves constantly. There was no way a vaccine would ever work. Why do you get a flu vaccine every year? Like, sometimes don't you feel like you're taking fucking crazy pills? People have been sitting around for the last 50 fucking years taking annual flu vaccines, and then all of a sudden like, wait a minute. Oh, you just take one vaccine and be fine forever. Are you sorry, my chair? Yeah. You can hear my fucking squeaky chair. I need a new one. But like, are you confused by this shit now? Whoa, I thought I just get my vaccine and be over with it. It's because it's a fucking flu that's been experimented on in Chinese labs. Ding dongs, for God's sake.
I mean, I just went, hey, look, what's my chances of dying? 0.03%. Okay, now if you think I'm going to take an experimental fucking shot for something that has a 0.03% chance of killing me, you can fuck off. And then 2 years ago, oh my god, we're all gonna die if we get the coof. And then I caught the coof, and I'm still breathing. That must mean either someone is lying or I am godlike. I'm godlike in my survivability. It's probably both.
Yeah, basically, this Wall Street Journal article though was just like, oh well, we didn't know a couple years ago, but remember, Fauci said this is a pandemic on the unvaccinated. Now they're saying, whoa, oh, of course you're going to have to constantly get... In fact, the boosters never did anything. This says, okay, listen here. Look here, listen. It might not be... Okay, 2 years ago, the vaccines were helpful in reducing severe illness, particularly among elderly and those with health risks like diabetes and obesity, but experts refuse to concede that boosters have yielded diminishing benefits and may even have made individuals and the population as a whole more vulnerable to new variants like XBB. It's not a coincidence that XBB surged this fall in Singapore and has had the highest which has had among the highest vaccination and booster rates in the world. Yeah, we told you this 3 years ago that trying to do this shit would make it worse, would force the virus into evolution. We told you this. Again, this is high school level biology. This is not complicated. The fact that so many people on this planet are so stupid, they don't understand, and I don't think they're this stupid. I think they have been inculcated into an insane cult mindset that makes them believe things they know, if they think about them for literally more than 5 seconds, to be false.
By the way, have you noticed the vaccinated or pandemic of the unvaccinated or unvaccinated death is completely gone from the news?
They don't report on it anymore because it's not happening, is it? It's people who are dying are people who are largely vaccinated at this point. Well, look, people of all, everybody can die. But the fact that people who are vaccinated are dying of COVID, they can't let that information get out because it goes against everything that they fucking said for years.
But I mean, that's just math. If the vast majority of people are populated, then naturally the biggest people are
Yeah.
people dying of
Here we have
vaccinated.
Dr. Leanna Wen now admits pandemic of the vaccinated was a total lie.
This is a man who showered with his own daughter, who smiles when he's mad.
Yeah,
This
that
man
is
will
creepy,
say
isn't it?
literally anything.
True.
If the Chinese military unleashed a deadly manufactured flu virus on the world, Joe Biden would blame you for it. And actually, he did. People are dying of COVID, Joe Biden told us, because you have questions about an experimental mRNA shot that doesn't really work and whose long-term effects we can't know. You're the criminal here, not the Chinese government.
Nice
you're, quote,
voice crack.
unvaccinated. You must be punished. That was the message from the White House, picked up and eagerly disseminated by Biden's equally soulless stooges in the media. And here's one of them, Leanna Wen, formerly of abortion giant Planned Parenthood, now of CNN.
We have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise...
My God, admitting to the carrot. Admitting to the carrot.
Hey, look at all these freedoms you had up until about a month ago.
Right, which you don't have now. We're taking them away again until you do some more.
The state needs you, Rousseauian fucking cunt.
It's perpetual carrot.
What do you?
Here's your carrot. Do the things that you want.
She's being funny by the CCP.
And from Soros, obviously.
Of course.
Otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
So the unvaccinated might be, quote, enjoying freedoms, fretted
How
Leanna
dare
Wen.
they?
And everyone knows under the U.S. Constitution that's not allowed. Scurry back to your hovel, Kulak. No freedoms for you. The gruel is ladled at 4. Slurp it with gratitude.
Jesus Christ. Good job, Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, what a difference a year makes.
Sure
now
is.
we know that everything Leanna Wen told us on CNN was
well, I mean,
a
like,
lie.
if you don't laugh, you cry. If you don't laugh at this horrible nightmare that they've inflicted upon us, you would cry. All you can do is laugh. This is sickening what they have done. And by the way, like, you know, we as adults have been through some of this shit. It sucks. It's awful. We've lost, and I don't even mean like it's terrible. People have lost family members, not been able to see them. People have lost jobs. Obviously, as we had someone here has lost a job, has lost multiple jobs over this shit, and it's horrible and disgusting, and sickening as all of that is. Remember that there are children who have grown up and known nothing but this. They're permanently scarred. We're 3 years in and they don't want to let it go. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. And I am so, as a psychologist, horrified, but also interested in a morbid way of how children, we already know that the 30-point IQ deficit, born under this horrible, disgusting authoritarian regime, are going to be permanently affected.
Hold on for like
There's a lot.
Hold on a second. Wait, hold on for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Or you could just do. Everyone should say this. Wait.
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
That's pretty much all of us for the last 3
What?
years, probably. Sorry, I played the Razor Fist chair spinning saying, fuck you, I was right.
Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you. Yeah, exactly.
And we know that for certain because, amazingly, Leana Wen just admitted it. This week, Wen acknowledged that actually this is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. It's the opposite.
The battle.
The CDC, she said, has now determined that, quote, vaccinated people who never had COVID were at least 3 times as likely to be infected as unvaccinated people with a prior infection. And a Lancet
the
study,
spike
continuing the
protein
quote,
works.
found that those who were vaccinated but never had COVID were 4 times as likely to have a severe illness resulting in hospitalization or death compared to the unvaccinated who recovered from it.
That's the Lancet, by the way, that he's citing from. Now, I don't have that study in front of me, but I assume that Tucker is correct. I could be wrong. But if he's citing correctly from the Lancet, if you're not aware what the Lancet is, it is the #1 medical journal in the world. #1. There is no comparison to the Lancet.
I mean, what? So the vaccinated are 4 times as likely to be hospitalized or die from COVID. 4 times. So it turns out that none of your vax propaganda was true, to put it mildly. It was all a lie. The question is, can we get our lives back now? How about our economy, our jobs? When's the part when you break down in racking sobs of contrition and beg forgiveness for misleading the entire country on matters of life and death and hurting people? We look forward to that part, though obviously we're not holding our breath.
They're never going to fucking do it. They're never going to fucking do it. But yes, you guys are right. We knew what we always knew. That natural immunity was better.
Of course.
And
Mother Nature knows best.
Again, they will never apologize. They will do quiet things like this. 2.7 million paid to 50 claimants of serious injury connected to a vaccine in Canada. I'm not going to read the whole article. Headlines enough.
Amazing.
They're starting to pay a little bit. But trust me, remember, and I really mean this with true sincerity, I'm so sorry for those of you who took it. And do not, and in countries where they made really ironclad laws against you being able to sue. I guess Canada didn't make it so ironclad. I'm shocked. I think they would be amongst the most, being amongst the most cucked countries in the world. But starting to be some payments back to people who have been injured. At the same time, Canada is also doing this. Ontario leftist group orders Jordan Peterson to submit to social media retraining. They want him to go to a wrong think camp for retweeting conservative Pierre Poilievre and criticizing Justin Trudeau. If you criticize the blackface in chief himself, you need to go to retraining camp. Breaking the Ontario College of Psychologists, CPO Ontario, has demanded I submit myself to mandatory social media communication retraining with their experts for, among other crimes, retweeting Pierre Poilievre and criticizing Justin Trudeau and his political allies. Retraining? Are they going 100% forward with the 1984 playbook, huh? Elon Musk responds, sounds like it. Peterson later added this to clarify, it has been decided I either submit to social media communication retraining or face a disciplinary hearing and possible suspension of my clinical license and the right to represent myself as a psychologist. What do you think they're going to force Jordan Peterson to do, Spoon?
Shut off his Twitter account, I imagine.
I imagine something pretty insane. Now,
he's not going to.
I don't think so. It would be, were he to lose his license, though, is sickening. Just because he doesn't go along with your narratives. Sick. Now, some of the things that we were listening to just a few minutes ago regarding the COVID stuff, right, were really horrifying. But why were they doing it, Spoon? Why were they doing that?
To kill
Why
people.
do they want... Oh, is it? Do you think maybe that's why? Do you think maybe that's why?
Away from human population growth. Because, you know, it underlies so many of the other...
This is Jane Goodall, by the way, the ape woman.
Problems. All these things we talk about wouldn't be a problem if there was the size of population that there was 500 years ago. We cannot hide.
She wants to reduce the human population
How about we
by
start with them?
7.5 billion people.
How about we start with you?
Why don't we start with you, Jane? And by the way, I've respected your work, Dr. Goodall. What the fuck is this? This is sick. Dreadnought for 5 says, with Canada's love of euthanasia, you'd think they'd be charging victims of the jab, not paying them out.
Oof,
yeah.
God damn, that was rough.
Yeah, you think they would.
Damn, that was fucking cold. Jeez.
That was cold. But
Yeah, goddamn,
goddamn.
that was icy. Fucking hell.
That's insane. Jane Goodall just saying, let's kill 7. Well, not saying it that directly, but wouldn't it be great? What we really need to do is get rid of 7.5 billion people. And of course, we know she's not the only one. We know that this is also Bill Gates's goal. This is the WEF's goal to get rid of about half of the population.
Yeah, isn't it funny?
They keep saying it
the same
over and
people,
over.
the same people that peddle you drugs to
Yep.
save your life are also people who want population control. That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yep.
I found that kind of sketch.
So
And why all of you people that advocate for you should eat this, you should eat that. Fuck you! I will eat butter, whole milk, cream cheese.
Yes,
and if you
absolutely.
don't like it, fuck yourself.
So there's a full 60
Fucking
minutes interview
vegan
here
midget prick.
with Paul Ehrlich, who is a biologist, which I'm not going to watch. We're not going to watch.
Oh,
but
God,
I'm going to
that
watch
guy's
a
a
clip of it.
fucking retard.
He's an absolute sociopath. But here's a little bit of it.
He's also dumb.
Finding solutions to the problems was the goal 2 weeks ago at the UN Biodiversity
politics.
Conference, where nations agreed to conservation targets. But at the same meeting in 2010, those nations agreed to limit the destruction of the Earth by 2020, and not one of those goals was met.
I wonder why.
This despite thousands of studies, including the continuing research of Stanford biologist Paul Ehrlich. You know that there is no political...
I want to actually say something really quickly about Stanford. Stanford was my #1 choice for PhD program.
You're probably very happy you didn't go there.
Yes, Stanford, because some of the scientists who were working there at the time that I was interested in, they had left by the time that I actually was looking at working there as a PhD student. So that's why I didn't look at Stanford. But Stanford was at one point my #1 choice for PhD program because they had a fantastic, the best in the world, virtual reality laboratory. And I'm so glad I never had to go to school in fucking California and get my brain rotted.
will to do any of the things that you're recommending.
I know there's no political will to do any of the things that I'm concerned with, which is exactly why I and the vast majority of my colleagues think we've had it, that the next few decades will be the end of the kind of civilization we're used to.
In the 50 years since Ehrlich's population bomb, humanity's feasting on resources has tripled, We're already consuming 175% of what the Earth can regenerate. And consider, half of humanity, about 4 billion, live on less than $10 a day. They aspire to cars, air conditioning, and a rich diet. But they won't be fed by the fishermen of Washington's Salish Sea, including Armando Briones.
The tribe has been fishing salmon here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And your generation is seeing the end of that.
It's getting harder and harder. I hate to say it, I don't want to say it's the end of it.
Why do you feel so emotionally attached to this?
It's everything we know.
We should probably say something about this because 60 Minutes is gonna fucking claim us no matter what. Who cares? But that's so scary. The things that Ehrlich was saying. Do you not agree?
No.
You don't think the things he was saying were scary?
No, because he's been wrong about every single thing he's been saying his entire fucking career.
Well, yeah, obviously he's been wrong about everything. Yeah, we know that.
Yes, he's just a propagandist. That's why I don't give a fuck what he says.
Okay.
But
no, I'm scared because people are going to take him seriously. That's what scares me about it.
Oh, fuck God, he's been around for fucking 50 years. I haven't taken
That's
him
true.
seriously.
That's true.
So, okay, here's the thing. How can I describe this? Paul Ehrlich. Oh, here's a good idea. Paul Ehrlich is like the Paul Krugman of the environmental.
Listen to this homie like pronouncing shit with his Dutch accent.
What?
Ehrlich.
Ehrlich. What? Yeah. That's...
You Ehrlich. You put an at the end. It's very, very Dutch.
That's how you pronounce his name.
Ehrlich.
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 I'm sorry. That's how you pronounce his name in my language.
Okay. A couple things. Aiden just wants to VR games, says No Pants Baby. Yo, I wanted to work with Dr. Nick Yee and Jeremy Bailenson. Yes, I absolutely did. I got a chance to meet Dr. Bailenson, Nick Yee, Nick Yee,
swine.
Nick Yee, 100%. The guy who discovered the Proteus effect. He found that shit out while working at Stanford as a PhD student. Got his PhD. Doctored the fuck out, dropped his book, and said, "See you suckers," and went and worked for fucking Ubisoft. Now, Ubisoft sucks, but I mad respect for Dr. Nick Yee for doing that and noping the fuck out of my shitty field. He discovered one company. He discovered one of the most important, in my opinion, theories of virtual psychology, virtual digital body psychology that ever. And do you know what the most fucked up thing is? This is a total aside real quick because I have to go use the bathroom again for a second. But real quick, Dr. Nick Yee, someone who discovered this thing called the Proteus effect, which is incredibly important in understanding the player-avatar interaction. But because Nick Yee decided to leave academe and go work for real shit and leave the academy, no one cites his most important research. They have tried to recreate it. They won't cite him because, he left academe. That means he's a traitor. It's such fucking nonsense bullshit. This guy already created this shit back in 2007. You want to erase and rewrite his research. Fuck you. He already did it. Get fucked. It's the Proteus effect. He found it in 2007 and sucked my dick. You're just mad that he found it before you, and then he decided to leave academia because he knew how fucking corrupt Stanford was. That's why he left Stanford. He knew how corrupt your entire system was, and he left. Good for him. He's a fucking multimillionaire now. Suck my dick and suck Nick Yee's dick. I would love to talk to Nick Yee. I've never talked to Dr. Yee. Dr. Yee, that'd be fucking cool. Anywho, yeah, I do feel better. I had to defend my boy who I've never met. Horwitz Feinberg and Horwitz for $50. Wow, thank you, man. Says, why does this sound like the plot to at least 3 video games I've played? Oh, it's not interesting.
It's also the plot to an X-Files episode.
Yes. Does the phrase "save the world, kill yourself" sound familiar? Almost like they've been programming that, isn't it? Kizza for £5 says, I'm back. Hey, welcome back, Kizza. No amnesty, rip and tear. On this subject, I can't disagree. Until it's done, make the scars so deep that the Grand Canyon, Grandon Canyon, if I know what you mean, the Grand Canyon looks like scratch. Roll Britannia. I'll be right back. I'll play the rest of this video and then I'll be right back, okay? Just give me 1 second, okay? have to go pee.
Fortunate enough to know where I know a lot of different things. I've done a lot of different things in my life. I've gotten good at evolving and changing. But not everybody here is built like that. And to some of us, this is what they know. This is all they know.
The 5 mass extinctions of the ancient past were caused by natural calamities, volcanoes, and an asteroid. Today, if the science is right,
It's not.
humanity may have to survive a 6th mass extinction
It won't.
in a world of its own making.
No, it won't. Was that it? Oh, for God's sakes. Hold on a second. 1 second. No, fuck.
All right, I'm back.
Sorry, I was playing Tetris.
Oh my god, of course you were. Sorry,
What?
I had to leave for a second though.
It's,
What?
It's late and it keeps me awake.
How you doing? How you feeling about going forward?
No, what are you trying to ask me?
I'm asking how much do you want? How much longer are you willing to go?
I give you 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
And you'll
All right.
be lucky to get that.
Give me 30 and let's.
Why must
we're gonna
you
decide.
ask?
Because I always decide. I always ask.
That's
what would
not
you?
how this works,
Okay. Okay. We have the Federal Social Media Agency, which we could go through the Twitter files.
That's way too long. Or way too
yeah.
short for 20 minutes.
I want to cover this really quickly just because holy shit. There's no way I'm not getting through this video without covering this. The Joker is pregnant.
Oh, that's just fucking insane.
Yes, the Joker's insane, but
Jokes on the Joker.
In the new issue, here it is. You can see it on the screen. Joker wakes up from his dream and finds he is pregnant. I'll repeat, the Joker wakes up in the morning and discovers that he is pregnant. I didn't make that up. Look at the picture below. The Joker goes to the hospital and prepares to give birth. Then he winds up throwing up a mud monster instead. A violent gun-filled chase commences, but then it's discovered that the mud creature is morphed into a child-sized version of the Joker. The Joker accepts the thing as his son and shows him off to Zatanna Zatara, taunting her over the family she could have had with him. What in the heck? Excuse me, let me change this for you. What in the fuck did I just read? This is comics. This is now comic books. This is a real goddamn thing.
No, it isn't. That's a travesty.
Yeah, I don't know, Bill. This is fucking insane. I want to go through some of the. Okay, I'm just gonna. I have so much time here before you have to leave. Okay, real quick. Here's on my quick overview of shit that makes me mad. Okay. DeSantis administration launches investigation into holiday drag show. The DeSantis administration is gonna launch an investigation into this holiday drag show. Of course, people are very upset about this. Oh no, how dare he? It's transphobic. It's gay. It's homophobic. It's oh no. Oh, Spoon, how dare Ron DeSantis?
It's Florida man.
How dare he? Now, should we look at this all ages drag show? Would you like to see? Now, I'm going to say I have one part that I think I'm allowed to show, and then I have actually made a video for this stream where I have cut it out that we will be allowed to show on YouTube no matter what. This stream is already fucking demonetized no matter what, but who cares?
It's because I said the F word.
Here's just a, I just said it. Okay, so here's part of it. Now, again, this is all ages. No, I said the F words and the F bomb is in fuck. But you said the really nasty one. That's
yes,
wrong.
I did.
So
That's
this is just part of the show. This is an all ages, child friendly Christmas, as in celebrating the birth of Christ. And this is how they celebrate the birth of Christ: is to show this in front of. There's children in the audience. We'll see it in a moment. We won't see it in this one. We'll see it in a moment because I've got it edited and cleaned up, so that I can play it on YouTube. Because by the way, here's the fucked up thing. I could not show you the actual video on YouTube. It would be immediately blocked worldwide. It would be immediately, we'd get a fucking strike. If I were to show you this child-friendly material without the edits that I have made to it. So here's the part that I think you can show, but this is satanic. This is satanic. That's like baloney, by the way. That's baloney.
Why does that look like the nun from the Conjuring series?
What? This is a child-centered, family-friendly drag show. If that looks bad to you, I'm gonna show you more of it. I have, again, censored this because it's fucking horrific. Sorry, let me go back to the beginning just in case can you see it fine on your side?
Unfortunately, I can.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. Now, you can't see, she's got like he has got big fake titties behind that thing. Anyway.
Censored nonsense.
Yeah. I censored it. Are you confused yet? Are you asking a child in the audience, are you confused yet?
Minty fresh. I had sex with my father's boss and in my father's office. What's your favorite part?
I want to be clear. The drag queen is asking a small child, what is your favorite part? And the child says, nothing.
Well, I slept with my stepfather's co-worker in our RV over Thanksgiving.
There you go. I censored it for you, Susan. Does that make it better? Does that make it better?
Hey, Putin, if you want to nuke these people, I'm kind of okay with that.
Well, you know who I'm okay with nuking?
All of these people?
Yeah. Police Scotland rebrands pedophiles as minor attracted people. The term described as deeply disturbing and baloney, such as the thing that was just dragged out of that person's crotch on stage, was included the chief constable's year-end report as part of the EU's project to tackle child abuse and exploitation. But you don't really seem that concerned with it, do you? Chief Constable Ian Livingston's annual year-end report refers to child abusers as minor attracted people, and the move comes amid wider concerns by campaigners for what they see as attempts to rebrand pedophiles as harmless sexual preference.
How about we just call them minor attracted pedophiles?
Yeah, why not? Just call them minor attracted pedophiles. You're still a pedophile. I mean, you can still use your little MAP acronym if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, but I'm going to call you a pedophile because you are a pedophile.
Yeah, but you are a pedophile. The report states the project's main agenda is to develop understanding and approach to avoid the victimization of children by engaging minor attracted people, MAPs. And, well, you know where do MAPs belong, Spoon?
Where do maps
What do you do with a map? What do you do with a map?
Well, usually for directions.
Sure. But if you were going to do something with a map that you owned, where would you put it?
In a cupboard.
Oh, okay.
Locked.
I mean, if I had a nice map, I might put it on a wall. I might hang it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those are nice to look at.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if it's a nice map to look at.
Well, these people.
These are not nice to look at.
I wouldn't put them.
I wouldn't put them on a wall. No.
I would. I might.
I don't
want
to look at
nails.
Them. That's true. We want to look at them. Gizmo for £5 says, I'll take shit that didn't happen, not going to happen for 1,000 Trebek. This gay garbage is a good reason to smash the French. # change my mind. Thank you, Giza.
You know,
Giza also said, Aiden, please play this. Link is in your DMs. My mind right now. I will hang on.
You've played
Is it the Rip and Tear?
You've played Fallout New Vegas, haven't you?
Spoon.
Yes.
You and I did an entire stream where we talked about New Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Did you forget about how you and I are both giant fans of New Vegas?
Yeah, but you know what happens if you hang around one of those Legion boys? What do they say to you?
I don't know. But Lance for 10, thank you, Lance, says the devils in Chainsaw Man are less effed up and less evil than the devils we have to deal with in real life. I haven't seen Devil Man or Chainsaw Man yet. I've seen Devil Man. But
if you hang around with them for long, they say degenerates like you belong on a
cross. Yeah.
Yeah. Now when I see that shit, I kind of like, I wouldn't mind the
Oh.
Roman legionaries right about now.
I would normally play this, but I'll play a little bit of it. But the problem is they're gonna copyright claim it because the God of War 3 soundtrack. I understand where you're coming from, but unfortunately, like, any playing of copyrighted music gets the stream fucked and can get it taken down.
I think of other things.
Ave True to Kaiser.
Yeah, no, I think of like, okay, this is gonna sound weird. I'm contemplating whether or not to say this.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, do it. Hasselhuffer 5 says everyone knows you hang maps. Maps get put up against the wall. Yeah, I mean that's typically like my dad has a bunch of lovely for real. Like he's got all of these great actually very historical maps. He has a map from the United States Civil War that you can have bullet holes and everything. Like it's one of his most precious possessions. My godfather got it for him. A true piece of American history. It's fantastic. Really cool.
Oh, well, you're a baseball fan. You should know this.
Yeah.
You know, do you know who Ty Cobb was?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, who was a maniac who like allegedly beat the shit out of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a Soundgarden song named after him.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't know why.
It's so funny that like that I'm the baseball fan and it's the only sport I know anything about. So
yes, but the lyrics of the songs are quite funny. Because he screams like the chorus of the song is hard-headed fuck you all.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
And this is the opening stand. Said, "I'm sitting in Magic Hat with a smoke and mirrors, and tie rubber fires. Watch me disappear again. What made it slow? Suck you. What made it slow you down? Sucking on a ball and chain. Another motherfucker goes down the drain." And then he screams hard-headed, "Fuck you all." That's a song that I thought, like, you know, if I've ever gone like a bloodthirsty rampage in a car where I just mow people down, this will be the song I listen to.
Could you give my voice a break for a minute and read a little bit of this article that's up on the screen about these maps that totally belong on walls? Well, these maps don't. I mean, like, but I'm just saying that generally speaking, if you have a nice, beautiful map, you want to frame it and put it on a wall. You know what I mean? I agree with Nick Ricada 100% on that one.
Behind plexiglass.
And in fact, YouTube agreed with him that it was fine to say that a beautiful map belongs on a wall.
What about an ugly one?
Maybe an ugly one. Maybe it's been, ravaged by history. Like I said, my dad's maps have been ravaged by history. He's also got. Oh, it's not. My dad doesn't have a map. I thought it was a map. It was actually an old flag. He's got a whole bunch of flags. They're not maps.
How about a blowtorch?
Maybe he's got an old map. I think he does have some old maps as well.
Blowtorch.
Well, no. Why would you want to? You wouldn't want to put a blowtorch to a lovely old map, now, would you? I'm just saying that a nice map belongs in a wall. I'm just saying a nice map belongs in a wall. I don't understand. I'm not understanding this.
Yes,
well, maybe if it's dingy and old. We're all playing a little bit of a game here, aren't we? Of course we're not. Susan, this is all we're just talking about taking a historical map and placing it on the wall as a just showing off.
Setting it
something.
on fire.
No, don't. No, how dare you? It's a beautiful piece of history, isn't it?
There are some maps.
Wouldn't we want everyone to see the map in its full glory, to see exactly what the map displays? Wouldn't we want everyone to see that? To see what the map is?
I would prefer
Wouldn't we want people to see that?
And smoke.
That too, maybe. If you wouldn't mind reading the rest of this article for a minute while I take a fucking smoke, because I'm so pissed. Go ahead.
I like the way you say I'm going to rest my voice by smoking.
Yeah, that's how I rest it. Go ahead, Hemi.
That's not how this works. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does. Fucking go ahead.
Woman logic.
Bruh.
Tell me I'm wrong. He explained that the reference to MAPs was in relation to the forces engagement with the European Unions. Why the hell do you need to change it if you're going to tackle child sexual exploitation? How about you focus on the job and not the language, you fucking nonsense? European Union's Horizon Europe Project Prevention of Child Sexual Exploitation. Does anyone think any government gives a flying shit about exploiting children? Or stopping it rather, because I don't fucking believe that for shit. The report states the project's main agenda is to
Seems to be the opposite.
Yeah. To develop understanding and approach to avoid the victimization of children by engaging in minor-attracted persons and providing them with necessary support. How about behind a prison cell with a bazooka?
I mean, anyone who's not, in my opinion, also a nonce, wants nonces and maps to be prosecuted. Okay, you can't offend people for thought crimes. Or you can't prosecute people for thought crimes, okay? If they just are thinking things. However, if they're in possession of legitimate child pornography, they need to go to fucking jail forever. Because people who own that kind of stuff, they're distributing it almost every time.
Yep.
And they also got it through a distributor. And you need to find those people, find the people who are distributing it, and shut that shit down at every goddamn opportunity. The thing that is so incredibly... Excuse me. The thing that is so horrible at this is that, again, in the video I'm making about justice and revenge, there's no real justice for the children who have been irreparably harmed, but the very least thing you can fucking do is try to ensure they are not re-abused by having sickos have access to their abuse. It's the bare minimum of protection we can provide for those who have been violated. Children who've been violated in this way. There's no recompense that can be provided for the children. The best we can do is try to minimize the spread of their torture. Continue, please.
Where was I? Let's see. Police spokesman said the police in Scotland does not use the term minor attracted person. The reference in the Chief Constable's Assessment of Policing Performance 2021-2022 was in the context of Police Scotland's engagement with the Horizon Project EU consortium to tackle child sexual abuse and exploitation. The term was used in the commissioning documents for the consortium and is more commonly used on the continent in September. How about you just don't fucking use it whatsoever and tell the EU to go fuck themselves?
Because Scotland wants to be part of the EU.
God, Scotland. Dan, can you please kick the shit out of Nicola Sturgeon?
I sent this article to Dank, and I think he covered it the other day. I believe Dank's response when I sent it to him was he was just
wanted to Fed post.
I think he wanted a Fed post, and basically my response back to him was it makes me want a Fed post as well. Because it does. It makes you want a Fed post. It makes you want a fucking Fed post when you read shit like this. It's beyond sick.
You see the term, content September, Police Scotland representative successfully lobbied for the MAP terms not to be used by the consortium. That the term MAP is contentious because child abusers are trying to escape the stigma attached to
the stigma. Oh my god.
Yeah, and maintain they should be regarded as a niche group alongside the LGBT community.
We said this 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is what you're going to do.
And by the way, when this was first being proffered, that the P was going to be added to LGBT, when I first heard that maybe 15 years ago, I said, no, it's not. Because I'm bisexual. And I was like, no. Come on, this is satanic panic.
The T
but this is what the left.
Fuck off.
But this is what the left has been doing for the last decade: is trying to add the fucking P. And if you read Herbert Marcuse and you read Paulo Freire and you read the foundational scholars of modern leftist ideology, of critical race theory, of what is the people who created critical race theory, they were all pedophiles, and they believed that the fact that children were not equal to adults is in and of itself a form of
oppression,
discrimination and oppression. So that children need to be also able to consent to sex because that's part of their oppression. They were fucking pedophiles. And they're still at it today. And it's clear here, isn't it?
You know those old days where people like had their hands and feet removed? I wouldn't mind if we go back to that kind of shit.
Well,
gruesome
I don't-
crimes demand gruesome punishment. And removing your hands, I think, is a pretty good one.
I don't know, but I truly think that
how
this
about chemical
shit-
castration then?
I'm all on board with that.
There we go.
Now, on the topic of chemical castration, by the way, the left wants to do that as well to a whole bunch of people. That's
At
the
least
entire
they'll
motive
reproduce.
behind the transgender stuff, isn't it? So
I said that on my video. They don't want people to reproduce.
to get through a little, yes, they don't. To get through a little bit more of this, I want to talk about, if you don't mind, can I go through my thing that makes me really angry? I'm gonna go through this. Yeah, I am. This is the video that has made me very angry. This is the way we'll end
I
on.
see propaganda.
This is the way we'll end on tonight. I had a whole bunch of other shit, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, no, we got through most of it.
We can do another stream.
No, we got through almost all of it. So, I want to...
As a woman, doesn't this piss you off?
I want to explain not only why as a woman, but not the Lecter Lively stuff.
Clown world.
But not just as a woman, but as who I am. Why this makes me very, very angry. So this is going to be the end of the stream. And I do hope you will give me a little bit of leeway to
yell,
explain my extreme anger at this video. This video went viral. It's a TikTok video. I can't find it on TikTok anymore, which makes me think that the person has deleted this video, but you can find it on YouTube. Lived at TikTok, of course, retweeted it. It's called Trans Girl Experiences Her First Intense Period After Hormone Replacement Therapy. Now, I'm going to give a trigger warning, and I don't normally do shit like that, but I'm going to talk about some shit that's probably going to make people a little bit uncomfortable for a moment. I made a Twitter thread about this video because it makes me very, very angry. And I'm going to explain why it makes me very, very angry. This is woman face. This is woman face. This is this is a minstrel show. Well, in this case, I guess it's a menstrual show. I'm sorry about my chair farting. I can't help it. But this is a menstrual show. It's a menstrual show. Look at this shit. Here's a trans girl experiencing her first intense periods after HRT. Trans men, male to females, do not experience periods. We all know this. This is a performance, but watch this little performance.
Why? Stop.
Smiling. Why? Stop smiling. Your little heating pad. Oh, of course. On your non-extant uterus.
I swear to God, if anyone says welcome to womanhood, I'm gonna lose my shit.
First off, exactly.
Okay, that's it. That's the whole video. Someone else is not complaining about it. This is the fucking video though that went viral. I'm gonna explain really quickly. This is not the only case. Blair White's talked about this shit. She has explored and shown off a lot of the nonsense of this. I'm trans and I'm getting my period. And in fact, when I tweeted about this, I had a couple people respond to me saying, oh, well, when you are an HRT, it actually makes you get cramps. You don't have a uterus. You don't have ovaries. If you are getting cramps, take a shit. Go have a poopy. You don't have a uterus. You don't have ovaries. You're not getting cramps in the way that women get cramps. Now, why this makes me so angry, and makes me, I think, justifiably angry, is that I have endometriosis. I have had endometriosis since, well, my whole life, because it's a genetic disease. If you're not aware what endometriosis is, again, trigger warning, turn off if you don't want to hear some gross stuff. I'm going to make it as least gross as possible. But when women have a period, right? what that is the sloughing off of the endometrial tissue that exists on the inside of the uterus. It's like the uterus is trying to make a nice, cozy place for a fetus to develop. When you have endometriosis, your body is fucked because of a genetic disorder that makes the body produce those endometrial cells on other parts, the spine, the lungs, the heart, the kidneys, etc. Other parts of the body that the cells are not supposed to grow on. And when you get a period, when you menstruate, the cells slough off of all the other parts of your body that they have grown on, okay? It causes intense pain. Now, not everyone who has endometriosis, it is a disease that is graded in scales between 1 and 4. I have stage 4 endometriosis. As a teenage girl, I was told I was faking it. I was told to get over it. I was told, oh, you're just being a wimpy little bitch. Because I would pass out and lose consciousness and vomit when I would have a cramp. Because it was literally my lungs and spine and heart sloughing off, right? So as a result of this, I've been, because I have very severe endometriosis, even though I wasn't diagnosed with it until I was 21. Well, I was really 16, whatever. I was involved with a couple of things. One called the Violet Study, which is what is the Iris Study, right? Iris Study? The Violet Petal Study, that's what it's called. Violet Petal Study, which was a study that I was involved in. Violet Petal Study, which was in the study that produced the drug Elagolix, which is now used as one of the main treatments of women who have endometriosis. I've never taken Elagolix, but whatever. Well, I guess I did take it when I was in a trial. I also have taken Lupron Depot. I took Lupron Depot, which, by the way, Lupron Depot is the thing that's both given to transgender people to prevent them from going through puberty. Now, I took Lupron Depot for 3 months. It caused me to lose almost so much bone mass that I tripped off a curb and shattered my left foot. Lupron Depot destroys the bone mass because it simulates menopause. This is something they give to 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds. I've been so lucky in that I was able to be in the trial for Elagolix, something that is actually used to treat very severe period pain. This shit that this person is doing is not just woman face, it is a complete and incomprehensible insult to people like myself who have fought for years to just be taken seriously, to have our pain being taken seriously as a real disease, and just get over it. Ooh, woo, it hurts for you. Haha, all girls hurt. Not the way that women who have endometriosis hurt, okay? This is some real ass shit that happens to women. And people like this treat it as a joke. It's funny, it's cute to them. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit by and not say that this is woman face and that this is a complete reverse of every single medical advancement that women have made over the last 100 years. You are making a mockery of women who have been desperate for help. Desperate for help. I have been involved in the endometriosis community my entire life. 20 goddamn years at this point, nearly. At least 18, 15. And you are making us a joke. When I had to struggle and fight for someone to tell me to take my disease seriously. You know what I got told, Spoon, when I first showed up to a doctor's office? When I was passing out and losing consciousness because of the pain that I was experiencing, they told me to take a, not joking, dirty dish rag and put it in my panties, and that would help me with my pain, by an Indian doctor. And these people like this piece of shit, think it's cute and funny, smiling, tee-hee, my little period, that you don't experience. I was told by somebody on Twitter that, oh, I'm trans and I get cramps. fucking stop. If you have cramps as a trans male to female, take a shit. Stop. You are talking about a specific condition that has been so fucking ignored that women who have, by the way, I'd like to point this out, 1 in 5 women has endometriosis. 1 in 5. Now, not 1 in 5. I know. Sorry, Bill. Not 1 in 5 has it to the degree that I have. I have stage 4. Okay, I had the worst form of it. But 1 in 5 women has this disease. And look at the way they treat it as a fucking joke. We still cannot get this disease treated seriously by doctors. And yet, people like this, well, of course, you know why? You know why? Because it's not financially. It doesn't give doctors a bunch of money to treat my disease. It gives them a bunch of money to cut this man's dick off so he can pretend like he's having cramps. That's what this is about. It's all about money. It always is, isn't it? It's all about money. This dude paid a bunch of money, or his insurance paid a bunch of money, or his parents paid a bunch of money for him to have his dick cut off, if that even happened. Or for him to get hormone therapy. So he can pretend to have a period. You don't want to have a period, asshole. You don't want to. Oh no, he does as a
lopping reasons.
As a fetish, he does. Fuck off. It's absolutely sickening. And this is the one thing where you will not get me to ever capitulate. No, never. I have worked my entire life, not by my own volition, to work as a test subject. I have been an active lab rat so that other women don't have to go through what the fuck I went through. And the fact that Elagolix is a medicine that is now on the market and is one of the most... it didn't work for me. When I was in the Elagolix trial, no, hang on, I might have been in the... I don't know, because I might have been actually in the control. Maybe that's why Elagolix didn't work for me, because I might have been in the control group, because I didn't have any positive response to Elagolix, so I don't know. Or what is now Elagolix. I was probably in the control group. Actually, it's why I didn't have any response to it. But it's really sick. This is a really serious disease that affects 1 in 5 women. The degree to which it affects them is individually based. But this is the most sickening shit I've ever fucking seen. And we didn't get into the feminism debate. If you'd be willing to watch that with me on Saturday, or whatever this weekend, Spoon.
Oh.
You want to do to watch the the Vice documentary because it's 50 minutes long. We want to do that this weekend.
Yeah, we can do that. There's no
All right.
Sunday. I have to stream.
I know it's late. You're gonna do something with the V?
No, I have to do a stream.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it Sunday then. How about that? Or would you be cool to watch it with me this Sunday?
Well, do it on Saturday.
Okay, Saturday V stream on Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, because V streams on a Sunday. Or
Okay, cool.
I have to.
You're doing the anime.
It's like Discord stream.
All right.
We're doing Demolition Man.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Anywho, so as we end the stream here, I just want to say that fuck this person. Fuck you not only for doing woman face and making a mockery of women, but I'd also like to say to fuck you for making a mockery of a really serious disease that even now women cannot be taken seriously. When women come in with endometriosis, they get told, oh, all girls get cramps. Just deal with it. What a little baby bitch you are. Meanwhile, this guy makes fucking TikToks about it and gets all kinds of praise. It makes me very angry. I don't like it. It really, really pisses me off. It is grotesque and I hate it. But I need to go to sleep now. It's been I need to go to sleep. And we all should go to sleep. I might be up for a little bit because now I'm very angry. I'm real enraged. This video really, really makes me mad. I shouldn't have ended on it, but anywho.
There is a part of me that wants to stream because I did say I want to do a video about. You said I can't do you can't. Well, you didn't say in quite so many words, but you said I can't do a video about the game I wanted to make a video on. And we're like,
no, I didn't say that. I just said no. I said you could do it. I just said it's a different kind of game.
Yes.
That most people make videos on.
Yes, but I will do nonetheless because I can make it funny. Because it involves me getting very angry.
If you can get very angry, as this video makes me very angry. Like this one.
An angry spoon is best spoon from the comment section. People overwhelmingly
I know.
enjoy when I get really
angry.
pissed the fuck off.
Angry spoon is best spoon. But I know you are a sleepy spoon right now. So
Yes.
it is almost 1 o'clock. So let us head out for the evening. Maybe on Saturday then we will watch the Vice documentary with Sydney Watson. It's hilarious and insane.
I kind of want to stream me playing this game at some point.
All right, why not?
Yes, but
Anywho.
it's going to like there's no one how I could monetize it because I will swear copiously.
Anywho, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all are having a wonderful new year. I will have a video out in probably about like 2 weeks, but we'll hear more about it. You're unfortunately going to hear more about it as we go through. Before
No,
the
not
video
Dark
comes out.
Souls.
No, not Dark Souls.
It's an old
Anywho,
game.
yes, it's an old racing game.
Yes, but it still gets me really, really pissed the fuck off. Like, oh my
Anywho.
god! I'll just give a short preview, right? This game, okay? There's one character. Like, if you know the game, you'll know the character in question. This is an obscure game, but there's one character in this game called Haley. Oh my fucking god! To this day, if you say that bitch's name, I get pissed the fuck off because I picture her face. And there's never been a single female in any game that I've played that annoyed me more than that fucking bitch. Like if you I just see her face in my head right now, and it's already getting me annoyed. I took immense satisfaction in kicking her fucking ass, more so than
as I
any
told
other
you.
person that I've beat in any fucking game.
As I told you, I had similar experiences with Adalia Hawthorne from Ace Attorney, but I would love for you to play an Ace Attorney game sometime. I think you'd like them.
No, it's not. It's not Need for Speed. Need for Speed has fucking nothing on this game.
No one knows the game Spoon's talking about, by the way. I've never even heard of it.
What?
So, I'd never even heard of the game you're talking about. No.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Well, get upset. Anywho, we will talk to you later.
Such a good game.
Well, then chill it.
No, it's fucking old now, and it's only on
I know.
console, which is like really shitty.
It's a PS1 era racing game.
Or PS2.
PS2. Oh, is it PS2? Early
No.
PS2.
The last one was on PS3, which means I have to get a PS3 emulator to get. It's not. It's a racing game, for God's sake. It's not SSX. SSX is fucking snowboarding.
Anywho,
Although my god, SSX is so fucking fun.
SSX is fun.
Oh god, it's the one most. My friend had a PS2. Grew up in South Africa. Like he came from a really well-off family, so he had his own like fucking projector room. So we would play like SSX and fucking Tekken as like 7 years old with like the characters bigger than us on a fucking screen.
Yeah, true. Jarnegi, Ace Attorney Stream 1. I don't know if you guys want to watch me do an Ace Attorney stream, because if we're playing the original like 5 games, which is not original, like the 5 games of what I would call the original series before the newer ones, like it's just gonna be knowing. Well, no, I probably will forget like what evidence to present when. I've played those games so many times though, but like and also I feel like it's not my place to really play Ace Attorney. It should be what Ricada does. I told you this too though, Spoon, though, is that it is kind of fucking funny that people basically bullied Ricada into playing Ace Attorney where the main character's name is Nick. So of course, at least in the English translation, his name in Japanese is Naruhodo. Which okay, so of course his name in English is Phoenix Wright, which is Nick's Wright. That's obviously the joke. That's
Right.
that's the joke of his name, Nick Wright. Naruhodo in Japanese is his first name, which means obviously or like clearly. Naruhodo is something that's super clear. It's very funny. It's a game full of puns and jokes, both in Japanese, and the English translation is fantastic. So you definitely should check out Gyakuten Saiban, aka Ace Attorney, which I also, and I played a little bit. Did you listen to at least a little bit of the Gyakuten Saiban musical, or the music I played for you? Or I sent to you, Spoon?
What are you talking about?
I sent you some Gyakuten Saiban music.
Are you sure this is me?
Yes, I sent it to you just the other day.
Are you sure?
I sent it to you literally the other day. Gyakuten.
I think
no. Yes, I did. Ace Attorney.
Aiden is losing it. I don't know what she's talking
I am
about.
not. I am not. Oh, you want me to show our fucking screens and show that I sent this music to you the other day?
Based on the shit that we talk, are you sure that's wise?
No.
We use gamer words quite frequently.
Well, somebody does.
Oh, don't you fucking come and tell me like it's only me. You never shared that.
I'm just gonna play it a little in the background. Anywho, I think we're gonna head up tonight.
That sounds...
You ready?
It's like Mortal Kombat's kind of gay. There's
Anyway.
no way how you send this to me.
We will talk to you all. Maybe see you this weekend if we want to watch that Vice documentary thing, because it's not a documentary. The thing with Sydney Watson. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all, if not before then next week.